Yeah, I did.
MJ Burp's number 4. There we go.
It's number 5 actually, which is really dumb.
Number 5.
Yeah, but number 3 happened off camera, or like I didn't clip it, like so someone else has to do it, or I'll find it. I don't know. I still have to do it.
Is it really an MJ Burp if it was off camera then?
Well, it was on camera, but I didn't edit it into a clip yet. So, but it's out there. But it's kind of like a treasure hunt, you know what I mean? Like you're hooked on the MJ burps, but then you might wanna like find this one for yourself because it's not out there. You know, if you really commit it, it's like an NFT. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh god.
Which are kind of in the shitter right now.
Yeah, that apparently rose and fell about as fast as each other from what I've seen a little of. But yeah, weird one.
Did you ever get into
anyway,
it?
Yeah. No, I never did.
What about crypto?
Someone, I've never been interested in that either, honestly, because I've always just seen it as like too risky. Like and it seems like every time you find out that something's really good, it's already been and gone. So there's no chance of taking advantage of it. You have to just sort of take a gamble and hope that the thing you've gambled on blows up as much as Bitcoin. I guess that was the original one, right?
Yeah.
So.
I got swooned by Elon Musk, like him saying like, oh yeah, you're gonna be able to buy Tesla with Dogecoin. I was like, meme is strong, you know, it's 2020, the meme is strong, and I bought 1,500 Dogecoin. 1,500
really?
euros worth of Dogecoin, yeah, and now it's like
nice.
No, because it's like that was after the hit, right? It was after the big. My dum.
Well, if Elon Musk tells to buy you Bitcoin again, or a cryptocurrency again, you jump on it immediately or not at all.
It's probably no. Listen, if it's probably a good gauge. Like, it's like a canary. What did they say? Canary in the coal mine, right? Like, if Elon Musk tweets about a certain Bitcoin, it's too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it's probably
someone will have beat you to it. Well, everyone will have beaten you to it.
Yeah.
Fucking
well,
hell.
you didn't.
I have a basic understanding of how it works, but I don't follow these things enough to like actually keep on it. I feel like if you dedicated your life 24 hours a day to keeping track of these kind of trends, you'd be able to take advantage of it, but it requires dedication that I just don't have.
It's the same with stock market, right? I mean, if there's people who know how it works that can just dedicate their energy and then they can just make a lot of money.
Yeah. It's kind of the same premise in a sense, really. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, but stocks are worth actual companies, right? And Bitcoin is just worth whatever. I don't know. You want to do an intro? You look very excited.
I was going to say, because the original plan for today was for this to be like a thing with 3 people, am I wrong?
Oh, my girlfriend. No, she's on the holiday. She extended... Yeah, I never told you that she wasn't coming? No, she wasn't joining us. But, yeah, she wanted to. She finished Moon Knight. She loved it. And I'll talk with her about it on when we do an episode. But she's still in Spain right now. Because she was on the holiday. She was actually supposed to be back in the Netherlands right now. But she's still there because her brother got, like, sick. He was, like, shitting his brains out.
Oh shit! Well, there you go.
In Spain.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
In Spain, yeah.
Yeah, but I told her like that's an odd reason to extend the vacation though, right? Like, I mean, if I went on a holiday with my family and I was shitting my brains out, my parents would just be like, okay, well, sucks for you. Let's get on the plane. You know what I mean? But all right.
True. I mean, maybe they're just sort of taking advantage of it. It's like, well, we could stay.
That's what I thought
days,
too. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
You can say that, right?
Good on them. Good on them.
Yeah. I mean, I do the same probably, right?
Yeah. Have you seen Doctor Strange 2 yet?
Have you?
I have.
I have too! We can't talk about it. No, we can't talk about it.
Yes. We can't.
I don't know. It's so fresh, right? Can we? Not now.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone watching this, welcome to MJ Shush with Skaliber, number like 8 or whatever shebang. Shit, there you go. He's the man. He's the real guy. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. And yeah. I mean, we won't talk about it now. Let's do a spoiler-free review. It was really cool. And I will talk about it at the end, okay? Because I kind of want to talk. I wasn't sure if you'd seen it, but since you've seen it, let's talk about it at the end, okay?
Yeah.
If nobody's watching.
We could do like first half of the podcast, Moon Knight.
Yeah,
no
that
spoilers.
Sounds good.
Second half. Yeah,
that
works
sounds
for
good.
me.
Because my girl also hasn't seen it yet, so if she so like it's very important. I get that this Marvel shit, man. If some dumbass YouTuber spoiled it for me, I'd be mad too. So let's take that shit serious. So these are spoilers for Moon Knight coming up now, right?
Hell yeah. Oh my god, you could do some awesome editing trick of the 3 personalities, you know, with our faces.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you do that because there's 2 of us, but never mind.
Well, it's just 3 times the same guy. It's just that
true.
Oscar Isaac is a significantly better actor than, you know, both of us combined. So
Bro, I am blown away by his acting. Fucking like the way that he can literally just be filming a single scene and switch back between the two
It's a different
personalities
guy.
within the space of 10 seconds. It's madness.
Yeah, and
I think it's really impressive.
Each Elder is a completely different guy. Like straight up, when you see the Steven emoting, you don't need to hear the dialogue. Like you'll just know. And I guess they changed his hair. To be fair, you know what I mean. Like Mark kind of has it kind of like slicked back, and Steven has it more like goofy, I guess. But like the body language, everything, it's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac isn't a British.
No, I think he's Spanish because I think that's why they did with, you know, the third alt in the last episode. I think that's why they made that decision to make him Spanish instead of Scottish.
Lockley.
Oh no, is it Scottish or I found somewhere that he was from New York, maybe?
Yeah, it was New York. He was a cabbie, pretty sure.
Why was I under the impression that Jake Lockley was Scottish? Is it just because it sounds Scottish? I don't know.
Maybe Lockley sounds pretty Scottish, doesn't it? Well, he could have been a Scottish cab driver in New York, I guess.
Let me see.
How did you, as an Englishman, enjoy the performance of? Oh, wait, no. If he's Spanish, so he's still doing an accent, right? Like, did it convince you? Was it like, or was it goofy? Was it over the top? Because it was a bit goofy. Maybe.
Oh, you mean the British accent? Yeah, it
Steven.
was. I mean, it was authentic as hell. I think.
Wild.
Very much someone from the south of England, though. Obviously, not where I'm from. We all sound a bit more like this, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but
obviously,
that's maybe more like Jake Lockley, don't you think?
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. I was kind of hoping for like a northern English accent for that. But I guess given that they've already got one English accent, it kind of makes sense that they'd do something else entirely. But yeah, honestly, I was worried that we would spend the entire show not knowing which was the original personality. Because I think that's what they were doing for a good few episodes. Like for the first 4 or 5 episodes, they wanted us to like wonder like what was the first one. And I'm not too familiar with the comics, so I had no idea what it actually was. But obviously now we find out that just in time for Mother's Day, one of his alts is a result of wonderful parenting.
Yeah,
so that was Jesus. That was like dark as hell. Yeah, like just witnessing that.
I bet it happened to someone though, right? I mean, a mom going crazy after a kid dies. I mean, it's kind of classic.
It's awful, but you can kind of understand. Like, I mean, obviously she would have had some sort of mental breakdown.
Well, that was it. They portrayed it, right? Yeah. The mental breakdown.
Yeah, and her blaming that on her own son was obviously really stupid. But I guess sometimes people really want to look for someone to blame.
Dude,
right?
I love the empathy in that scene that Oscar Isaac made Steven feel like, Mom, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like. Remember that? How because Oscar, Steven, they're in this weird world, right? Where Steven and Mark are both alive at the same time, and
the underworld.
It is right because they're on the boat.
They explained it's like the spirit realm from Black Panther is it's the same place. It's just it looks different depending on what you believe in already. So it's basically the afterlife. That's it.
Wait, so is it just a boat? Because is it just an Egyptian boat because Steven is really into Egyptian mythology and Mark is like into the West? Really?
Yes, that's what they explained that in the show. They were like the only reason why this realm looks like an African savanna that's like so beautiful and calm in Black Panther is because that's what they believe the afterlife looks like. So every single culture's afterlife is actually the same. It's just completely subjective, and for them to rationalize it, they just sort of fit in what they expect it to look like.
Oh, but you're talking about the cornfield now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought you were talking about the boat. I think that...
I don't really know.
No, I think how I interpret that makes sense. What you're saying, like the field of reeds, because that's when she said, Tawaret, wherever her name is, the hippo goddess, she said, you're manifesting the calm that you've always wished for, right? And that's where I think you're right. That's the subjective user, like custom thing. And that's... So yeah, it could be that the plane of the afterlife for the Black Panther people is different for the Black Panther pantheon, I guess. Black Panther.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could say Black Pantheon.
I'm pretty sure they had like a name for it. It was just like the spirit realm or something like that. There was a name for it. Oh my god, I gotta find out now.
But the place in the desert where the boat was flying around, there were all these zombies. That I don't think that was manifested by Steven, right? That's not what you're saying, right? Because I don't know if I definitely didn't see it that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure because by the description they gave in the show, that would then mean that Black Panther, that afterlife, which by the way is called the ancestral plane, which sounds very familiar now I've read it. That would imply that the ancestral plane has like a judgment ground, which was similar to how the sands were portrayed in Moon Knight. you know. But obviously it's not. It's a different thing entirely. But yeah.
I think it is, because the Hippo lady said this is one of the afterlives. So this is just the one they ended up in because of their specific situation, like the variables that led to their death.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I interpret it anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that could be like the mid realm. You know, there's a lot of religions that have like limbo. You know, where you go before you've been judged, before you go to heaven or hell. And I guess that could be what the sand place was. I liked it though. Did you like the boat on the side? I thought it was a cool visual, honestly. I think it was really
so cool.
nice.
Yeah, it was really like, dude, I was not ready for the amount of epic CGI. Like, it's normalized now to me because I've seen it like so many times. The episodes I've watched, I've never rewatched a series as much as Moon Knight. I fucking love Moon Knight. Like, when it started, dude, I was like, wow, that suit is really cool CGI. I can't believe they did this for a show. I mean, I've seen CGI in the other shows. Loki obviously was a great example of good CGI. I mean, honestly, we know it's Marvel. All of them have CGI, right? But like, I was not ready for the Dujat, the sands, at least with the boat. I wasn't ready for that, man. Like, that amount of CGI in this show, I was not expecting that. And like the big creatures going full size, you know what I mean? All that shit. Even Khonshu just showing up straight up full CG, just chilling out in certain scenes. Like, I don't know, man. I was not expecting.
I find it weird because I feel like Khonshu always looks believable. I never really thought about that before until now. But even in the first couple episodes, when Steven's just on his way to work at the museum, and you just see Khonshu just looking at him on the street, he looks pretty convincing.
Yeah.
And you gotta give CGI some slack, I guess. I know a lot of people. Close friend of mine actually says that he can always poke holes in the CGI, and it always kind of takes him out of it. But it doesn't fool me, you know. Like I mean, it does fool me. Like, it has me fooled. It has me enticed.
Exactly.
It has me engaged. I think it's good enough, for sure.
It's good enough. The only moment that stuck out to me is when Steven finds himself waking up in this weird... in one of the first episodes, right? He wakes up in... maybe... I think it was the first episode. He wakes up in like this field, right? And he's like, where am I? And he's being chased, and he's in the car chase through the mountains, right? And then there's a truck that falls over with logs that then crash into Steven's direction, into the camera's direction. That is the only part of bad CG... And the rest is so fucking good. I mean, yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, now you point it out, I kind of remember the scene, and I think you might be right about that one, honestly. But yeah, honestly, I still find it crazy to this day. Like they were teasing Jake from the first episode, and even though
Jake, right? The general consensus is, that's cool.
Yeah, like in the first episode when he just like blacks out for a second, and he thinks that Mark has just like slaughtered those people around him. It was not Mark. Like, Mark is a lot more offensive than Steven, but he's also a lot more rational than Jake. So it's too extreme for Mark. I was still convinced by the end of episode 6. I was like, okay, we didn't see Jake. That's fine. Maybe they'll do it in season 2 or a movie in the future. Who knows? But nope. The build up was good. The build up was there. Like, we had Jake appear in at least 3 different episodes across the season. I think there was the one
never
where
really
he
appeared, right? He just kind of showed shimmers, and like the biggest red flag was the red sarcophagus, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
true,
go on.
Yeah.
Give me your list.
No, yeah. Well, I was trying to think when it happened, because obviously there was the first episode where he beats up the guards in what looked like.
I mean, he got the date.
Was that the
Steven,
Netherlands,
right?
by the way?
No.
Where was that?
No. It was.
Because it looked very much like the Austrian Alps to me, honestly. But I don't know. There's a lot of places in Europe that look like that. You know, nice green fields, rolling hills.
Yeah, it didn't look like England though, right? And that's definitely where
it wasn't England.
So how has Steven even like functioned at all up to this point, right? Like, if Mark is just or like Jake, I guess, is just constantly like taking his life away. Like, he gets a job and then just doesn't show up for a week, and everyone's like, where the fuck were you? And you were like, I was here just yesterday, mate. You know what I mean? Sorry.
I honestly, I don't get it. I mean, because he replaced the goldfish.
Yeah, that was
when
such
he
a
hadn't fed it
clever
in 3
thing,
days.
Right? And I didn't even need a payoff. Like, it could just be, it had a payoff. Suddenly there were 2. Interesting.
I know. I love the idea that he puts sand around his bed so he could see himself like sleepwalking out. He has like 1 million locks on the door. But Mark is as intelligent as Steven. He could have easily just got past all that stuff.
But it's not Mark that's doing it though. And you're right, absolutely. But Steven thinks he has a sleep disorder, right? So he thinks he's just like in his sleep being silly.
He thinks he's going on major sleepwalks. He doesn't realize how extreme he is when he's dazed out, or how many days have passed in that time. I don't know. I feel like at a certain point, Mark might have just been doing like a little bit of stuff in the evenings or in the early morning, and just managing to let it.
I guess.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, still. But then obviously that event comes where he has to travel to somewhere in Europe. Still don't know where it is. I tried searching, I couldn't find anything. But he's in Europe somewhere,
Let's
and
say
he
it's
must
in
have been
France. France. Let's say France.
yeah, it could be actually. That'd be nice.
France.
Let's just say that he gets there and he's like, well, shit, Steven's gonna lose about 3 days here, but it's something that I have to do that's essential, so he can just lump it.
Dude.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he went to get, right? So it was an essential thing to go get. And then Jake obviously appeared in Egypt again later in the season, when he straight up just murdered those criminals.
A perfect tension that was. That was such a great, beautiful like moment where, I mean, I knew there were 3 personalities, but I just heard whispers on the internet like, oh, are they gonna do it? Are they not? And then I saw the show and it was already so like complex and so like, I mean, intriguing, but also super complex with just 2 characters. So I just kind of dismissed it. And when they showed that was such a perfect like payoff of this like. Where the audience, I mean me at least, where you're not sure, but you're kind of like, you know, whatever, I don't know, I don't really know, and then suddenly that happens, and then they say to each other like, was that you? Not a chance, mate. And then I don't know, man, it was so fucking good. It was such a good show. Jesus, dude, what the fuck.
I love it how Mark goes like, Steven, what did you do? And Steven's just like, you think I could do this? Yeah. Like he can't even punch someone. Like of course he couldn't fucking do that.
Dude, didn't Mr. Knight give you wild Jim Carrey, The Mask vibes? That wasn't just me, right?
Yeah. No, I entirely get what you mean. Oh my god. I love how later on in the season they could literally switch back between the what was it called, the traditional robes or something, or whatever they called it then. Ceremonial, yeah, that was it. And then obviously Mr. Knight, and they can each use their weapons to each other's advantage and sort of like tie them together in this cool fight sequence. I really like that. I think that was really awesome.
That was awesome. Like I mean, Moon Knight had one of the best fight scenes in the entire MCU. Sorry, I take that back because I'm watching fucking what's his name, Daredevil right now. I'm only on season 1 halfway through, so I don't even know why he's called Daredevil yet. He doesn't even have a suit. But no, I'll find out. I'm loving it so far. Kingpin is good, very intriguing, very unnerving. This is a great villain, and honestly, all characters are really fleshed out. I mean, it's a surprisingly good show. I'm still worried about the other characters because I've seen some of like the punchy guy, the white kid, you know, who knows karate.
The white kid knows karate? Oh no, do you mean fucking Iron Fist? Oh no.
Yeah. I don't want, but I don't want. I feel like that shit is tainted, and I don't want it to touch my precious Daredevil because I'm into Daredevil now too. And it's nice because Daredevil is like new MCU shit that I just never, watched.
Yeah, and I guess it actually is MCU now to some extent.
Come on, it is. Matt Murdock.
Yeah, multiverse. Like you can literally just chalk everything down to multiverse now, which I think is great. We can talk about the multiverse in a minute. We gotta talk about it, don't we? Yeah,
not yet. It's too early.
But yeah, Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight.
What do you think Jake Lockley's suit is gonna look like?
Well, I mean, there were theories that he wasn't going to have a suit, right? That he was just like the promo image that you see where you, I'll edit it in, like where you see Mr. Knight and Moon Knight in the middle. You think, oh, that's just Mark Spector, but that might be just Jake Lockley. He doesn't even need a suit. Like maybe his eyes just glow and he just like goes fucking psycho. Or he has
I honestly think the same thing.
Like a hockey mask, maybe? Or is that like too cheesy?
That could be like horror movie shit.
Because that's what I want. Cool. I kind of want him to lean into like. Are you into Eminem at all? Do you like the Eminem horrorcore genre vibe, like 3 a.m.?
What now? Eminem.
The rapper.
As in
Eminem.
Fucking I thought you meant the rapper. He does horror.
There's an entire album. It's called Relapse. Like 3 a.m. in the morning, put my key in the door, and bodies laying all over the floor, and. It's like that vibe. I don't know. I kind of really want Jake Lockley to just be like a completely like crazy fucking like he doesn't give a fuck, right? Just like he will just stick his hand inside a guy's mouth to rip out the fucking thingy without like squidging, right? Kind of vibe.
I expect that's how it's gonna go. Honestly, I know it sounds ridiculous, but just in that last scene at the the end credits scene of episode 6, when he just kicked a wheelchair.
I love that so much.
It was amazing. I was like, that is awesome. The exact kind of vibe he should have. He just walks out and says, "Fuck you," just randomly just kicks over a wheelchair. Oh, I thought it was great. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Honestly, I think that if Jake's suit is extremely minimal. Or even just, it's barely even a suit. It's just like a white version of his existing clothes to match the Moon Knight white vibe. That would be really cool. Like that, just literally having him. It's just like he's badass enough as it is. I love how they built it up with every single fight in the show so far, where Jake obviously got brought into it. Especially the last one when Layla just looks at him disgusted, and she was like, what the fuck did you just do? Like looking at all the bodies on the floor around him and not thinking, how the fuck did you win this situation?
Were you
But
happy with that finale? What did you think of that? Like, it's kind of a Deus Ex Machina, right?
yeah, I don't really know. Honestly, for me, I quite liked it. I think it broke the annoying trend of Marvel TV shows where, for me, and this has been the same with every single one so far, the finale episode has been overshadowed by the second to last episode, like episode 5 or episode 8 with WandaVision. This was the first show, in my opinion, where it actually was just like a steady build-up, and the finale was a finale, and it paid off well. And I liked that.
I
think
like Book of Boba Fett in that way. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen Book of Boba Fett.
We
Yeah,
talked about it, haven't we? I don't remember.
yeah, I think we have a little bit. Yeah, did actually quite like that as well. I saw a lot of bad reviews for Book of Boba Fett, but for me, it was just like it was good. I enjoyed it. Just extra Star Wars content.
It was just poorly named. By the way, I did a podcast with to correct myself with Hubert, and we talked about Book of Boba. But anyways, either way.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, because I was planning to be there for that, but I couldn't make it. Busy lifestyle, as you would see. Anyway, speaking of busy lifestyle, my busy lifestyle is getting better. So I think it's time for MJ Trips with Skal IRL.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck do you want to? I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, but yeah.
No, yeah. That's what I wanted to call it. It was on my list. How the fuck did you know, man? MJ Trips with Skal IRL. That's what I'm calling it. Hey guys, this is my official announcement for MJ Trips with Skal IRL. Skaliber is coming over to the Netherlands. Allegedly, he's committing now. He's saying it on the podcast. Sounds pretty committed then.
I am committing.
I'm glad we're doing a podcast today, man, because I was really annoyed with you yesterday that you didn't show up, and then I was like, what the fuck, like. Because me and my girl...
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm happy that you're not an asshole. But me and my girl have been really talking about, like, people that are, like, negative energy in my life. You know what I mean? Like, from, like, my past or whatever. How I've always, like, let people in too much. You know what I mean? And then when you didn't show up, and I didn't really know why, I was like, oh, man, don't let Skal be, like, a toxic person, you know? Don't let me, like, lose Skaliber. You know what I mean? That sounds
I got my fair share of being a toxic person. Honestly, bro. I think it's in everyone. Yeah. I think it's in everyone. I think that it's just like...
Right? If you're gonna go there, I'll go there. Me too, dude.
It's just life. That's just life. But I'm glad I didn't let you down too much. We're here today, doing this.
Yeah, we are here today.
Good. Hell yeah.
It's always nice talking to you, though. And I'm so excited for you to come over.
Honestly, the biggest thing I can tell you with that is, like, it is nothing personal. I have... For some reason, recently, like in the last couple of weeks and the last couple of months as well, I have just find myself being so busy all the time. And if I do too much in a short space of time, I'll need like a couple of days to just cool down. It's odd. But yeah,
it's fine, dude. Don't justify it.
It's nothing personal. Always doing too much stuff, as always, but it keeps me busy and I like it.
Well, that's good. At least because you got the momentum going, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's some people
I was going to ask you... I was going to ask you about
being
flights.
Someone who doesn't know anything? Sorry.
Yeah.
Ask me
no,
about
I know that. Well, no, because I've been there as well. And it's not good.
Yeah, same.
It's not good either.
And then you get this anxiety. Then you get this horrible anxiety about, I wish I could be doing something. At least for me, at least. Like, even when I was doing nothing, I was always like, why do I have nothing to contribute to? Like, you know what I mean? And then, didn't you have that? Like, I always wanted like a greater goal, and now I found it in like, you know, YouTube and self-love, all the shebang. I
got restless. It's happened with me. That was when I was out of education and was working full time. It just didn't work for me, and I knew I was in the wrong place, and the restlessness helped me, I guess. But yeah.
Because you
drink a beer?
Maybe. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We normally do a beer review. This is Apple Bandit. This has been my crutch beer for the past while. Bro, when you come over, we'll drink so much Apple Bandit. I fucking love this shit, dude. It's like I don't know if you guys have like sweet beers.
Apple Bandit cider. Do you mean cider?
Isn't this? I don't know what cider is. Is it just straight up cider?
That is a cider.
Is it not beer
when
at all?
I asked you if it was a beer, it just looked like a beer bottle. Yeah, but that is a cider, 100%.
But wouldn't it then be cider mixed with beer? Is it just 100% a cider?
Yeah, it's just a cider. Cider mixed with beer is weird, so I recommend that. Cider's good, yeah. It's like alcoholic fruit juice, right?
Yeah.
Like sweet. It's good. Yeah.
But it's so fresh, dude. Like when you're thirsty and it's a hot day, this quenches you, and then you're more thirsty, but then it tastes great, and you get a dopamine hit from the sugar, so you just drink more, you know.
I might have to get into drinking cider a little bit more. That sounds good, actually.
Have you had it?
I agree with you, though. Yeah, I've had cider. I've tried many ciders. We have different ones in this country. Recorderlig, Copperberg, Bramley's. Is Bramley's a cider, or am I just thinking of something entirely different?
I think you're gonna be wilded out, dude, when you're in the Netherlands. You're gonna be wilded out. Because there's like a classic store in the Netherlands called Albert Heijn, and it's so normal here, and you're gonna be so used to your shit. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna come here and you're gonna be so weirded out, and I'll be weirded out at that. Because for me, this shit is like every day. Like, you know?
That's gonna be funny as hell. Like, do people speak English where you are?
Yeah, famously, bro. Have you seen Spider-Man: Far From Home? The Dutch Spider-Man says it. Oh, you people speak English very well. It's like a trope of Dutch people that their English is so good. Cool. Because the Dutch language is so shit, right? So everyone's like, oh, I can barely express myself in this shitty language. Ik ga je in je kont neuken, Skaliber.
That's... What?
Man, I'll fuck you in your ass. It's a shitty language. Sorry, I was rant over.
That's fine. It's fine. I'll go for that. But yes, I was going to ask you what the best airport to fly to would be, but I figured that you may not want to expose that information, so I'll ask you about that after the call.
Oh, it would just be Amsterdam, though, right? I think it's
Wait,
only,
really?
I think Netherlands is really small, dude. Like, look at the scale of the Netherlands. Like, compare the Netherlands to, like, I don't know, a city in Texas. Like, the Netherlands is so small, dude.
Okay, I see your point. There are not that many airports, bro.
No, yeah. So you could also go to Belgium, but that's kind of shitty because I don't know Belgium. No, just go to...
There are 5 airports in all of the Netherlands that are for, like, tourists. That's mad.
Name
The
them.
UK has hundreds.
Yeah, I know.
Let me see. I didn't realize how, like... I didn't realize that it was like that. There's Amsterdam Airport, Eindhoven, Rotterdam, The Hague. It only lists 3.
Rotterdam, dude?
I don't know why it lists 3. But yeah, apparently...
Well, I'd just say Amsterdam and then...
Train? Bus?
Well, I'd like to pick you up, you know, because that's...
Do you drive?
I wish, dude.
Oh.
I also don't know anyone that drives.
I was gonna say that'd be fucking convenient if you did, but...
No, I'm getting my driver's license, though, like, right now.
Nice. I really want a car, but it's just fucking expensive. Like,
you have your license, though?
Yeah, I've been able to drive for over 3 years now. I just can't afford a car. Yeah, it's depressing as fuck.
Would you even like dare to drive right now?
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, when I first get a car, what am I gonna do? Because I don't remember anything.
You're gonna sit there. I have a license. I have a license. I should know this.
I'm gonna be sat in a car thinking, shit, what do I do? But I'm planning on just like taking myself out to some really derelict area, like a big parking lot, car park, whatever you call them, and just being like, right, let's just test everything out, see what happens, and get back in gear. But I'm planning on buying one in the next year for sure. When I've got more money from uni and more steady job hours and stuff like that. It's just right now, it's just I'm catching up on debt, and affording a car is a dream. So, yeah. But anyway, I shall get those tickets booked. I can't say for definite when it will actually be, but my last deadline of the entire year is on July 8th. So, given that, July 15th.
Till when do you have off?
Fucking hell. Mid-September. I get a long summer. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, a lot of my classmates are done now. We just finished, but I have catch-up to do for the next 6 weeks.
But then you're done with it after that, after the 8th of July, is that what you said?
Yes. 100%. I will have no more work.
Okay, let me think. Well, maybe you could come for longer than 4 days, or would you not want to come for longer than 4 days? But because if we can plan it later in the year, then I can work and build up a little bit of, you know, hours maybe. That's how it works, right? And then like ask for more days off.
I see your point. It's up to you. I don't mind, because the only reason why I said 4 days initially is because I don't want to like overstep, you know, especially if I'm in a like foreign country.
No, I just said it because I don't know how much. I never ask for free. I don't know. It's like a weird thing I have. I don't you know, unless it's like a shitty employer. But you know, if I like the employer, I'll never ask for free. You know what I mean? I'll just be there.
Yeah.
So I just feel bad about that. But if I build up my hours, I can just we have to talk about this. But maybe it's gonna be later than July then, right? Because I'd rather have you come over a week, right? And it's also more cost effective for you, right? Because you know,
for sure,
you're paying for
well, I mean, like I said, I'm
not so
gonna
much
be
for
back.
me since I said I was hosting you, but I still am planning on doing that DW.
Very cool, very cool. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't have uni until, I don't know the exact date yet, but it's going to be around about the middle of September. So it could be any day in August, maybe even first week of September, if you wanted to do that. So hold fire for now.
Okay, everyone, hold fire for now. Listen, this might...
We know you're mighty excited about the crossover, but not yet.
No, not yet, guys, not yet. The land of mod abuse. How do you even refer to your Discord server when it changes name all the time, Skaliber?
I just literally refer to it as my Discord server. I don't know what the fuck it's called. It changes name like every 3 weeks, and currently it's the land of eggs. Oh. So yeah, you want to change it? What do you want it to be?
Can it be the N-word?
No.
No.
Because I am not okay with that personally. That's the only reason I need. Fuck you.
No, me neither. Me neither.
The land of ninjas?
The land of ninjas, yeah.
Why would you even ask me for that? Fucking hell.
No, say the land of gingers.
Okay, I can do that. That's fine.
Oh, you can't say the G word, dude.
Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. So listen to me if you care for your health. You won't call me ginger unless you're ginger yourself, yeah. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger.
I can, fuck you. The land of gingers.
You're not a ginger. It's wild how much you look like Matt Murdock, by the way.
You think so?
Yeah, that's what you said to me before, right? You've already said it. And then because I
wish.
No, you've said this to me. Like, cause I was saying if we do a Daredevil poster or like a Daredevil episode, once I finished it, then we can do a Daredevil episode, and then one of us can be Daredevil in the thumbnail. And then you said, "Oh yeah, I know who that's gonna be. It's gonna be me," and cause you know, and then I didn't know because I hadn't watched Daredevil, and now I know. Am I just making it up? You look at me like I'm making it up.
I mean, I'm trying to think to how past me would have behaved, and I'm like, I am called Matt. Maybe that's literally it. I don't know.
You look like him though, and it's like I mean I might have made it up, but then it's just my opinion. Fine, I'll just make it my opinion. You look a fuck a lot like Matt Murdock, dude.
Hell yeah.
Like every time I see Matt Murdock,
handsome man, yeah.
I'm just like, Skal, what are you doing, dude? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I love that. Oh my god. Right, we are officially past the halfway point of the video.
I agree. Okay. Ding, 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 everyone. Hey, listen up, guys. Ding, 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 ding. Focus. If you're out of fucking, if you're like, you know how sometimes maybe you're watching a video and you zone out because it's just like such a long, drawn-out conversation. Just like how I'm basically zoned out. You know what I mean? You're just in a zone, right? So, anyways, if you were just listening to this podcast and you were just doing your own thing, we're gonna get into Multiverse of Madness. So if you want to carry on and just do your own thing in the background, it's cool. Encouraged, right? Kind of my podcast, our podcast, Skaliber and MJ. It's kind of like having the TV on in the background, you know what I'm saying? And but yeah, we're gonna talk about Multiverse of Madness now. Man, I would hate to be spoiled, so I'm just making sure that everyone is here, right? So
if you are still listening, stop listening if you haven't yet seen Multiverse of Madness and want to.
What this guy said. You want to do a high five so we can officially open the. Ooh. You're doing such a shitty job with high five. There you go.
Wait.
Oh, you want to do it like that? I want to do this.
Smash.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Okay, again. Wait, we're doing this again.
3,
2, 1. Smash.
Oh, there you go.
That was alright, actually.
Yeah,
that was alright.
That's alright. Okay, so Wanda dies.
Fucking hell.
She does, right?
I mean, does she though? Does she? I don't know. I mean, it's okay. She just went up against the entire Illuminati, shredded them like cheese, quite literally in one case, and she dies to a rock falling on her. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. You see a flash of red come out as the rocks go down. That was either her dying or her doing some witchy shit to get the fuck out of there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I thought that, if anything, Wanda's death was the weak point of the movie. Sorry to start with a negative note, because I love the movie. It was a wild ride. But yeah, I don't really know. I don't want her to be dead, because I felt like this was gonna be. I knew this was gonna be her big moment, But I loved it. I didn't need it to end. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you
I
have
get what you mean.
just like Arthur Harrow, you know what I mean? Just like, it's fine. He survived. You don't. I mean, the after credit scene is great, but then have Harrow take him. I mean, I guess fucking Steven had to kill him to pay off the double shot. I don't know, man. Anyways. Yeah.
Bruh. I'm really not sure how I feel about the film. It's...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went in there expecting something really big for Wanda. Like, I expected her to get some more out of it. I expected maybe that White Vision might return. I expected that maybe she would actually finally find her kids in the multiverse and they might actually be brought back into the story again. And honestly, I didn't realize that the film was going to be more just because they kind of, in the trailer, they kind of showed that she might be some sort of like in the middle or like an anti-hero or something like that. But no, she was just the villain from 10 minutes in. Like, Strange goes to her, not realizing that she was the one conjuring up all the bad things to fight America Chavez. And then he gets there, exposes her in like 30 seconds because obviously he didn't say her name. Yeah.
That was pretty clever because as an audience member, you're like, huh? Wait, how does she know? And then you're like, okay. Because these Marvel movies
thinking
lately,
the exact same thing. Yeah.
Marvel movies lately kind of skip over details a lot more. Like you feel like Marvel movies used to kind of really hold your hand, and now they kind of skip over details. Like, oh, they'll figure it out, which I'm fine with. And I kind of just thought, oh, for some reason, I just thought, oh, I guess she already knew. Like, I don't know. It's like weird, but good.
I feel like Sam Raimi's good for that kind of stuff. To be fair, he sort of like everything had a payoff at some point in the film. Like, I saw a video earlier today going into detail about this, but the idea that, you know, the original Doctor Strange, right at the beginning of the film when they're talking entirely in Spanish, and that version of Doctor Strange with the ponytail, he gets buried in the ground, comes back later. You know, we're told that they can't use magic to get to the spot where Wanda's hiding out, so he doesn't use magic. He uses the souls of the damned to form like a new cloak of levitation. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things there that were just kind of like just random things in the film, and they all paid off at the end, and I feel like he's actually quite good for that kind of thing. But one of my biggest complaints about Sam Raimi, though, is I feel like there's an overabundance of completely unnecessary horror film tropes that just are laughable, frankly. Really? There is a scene where Wong wakes up on the mountain, right? You know, the one where he's just been thrown over the side by those golems.
He has the butt plug clinking against the...
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the scene. I think about that scene once a day on my bike to work.
When he wakes up and gasps for breath, we hear a horror chill sound effect. And I'm like, why? There was no need for that. If you watch it again, when you watch it again, look for it. Because
I don't watch horror, so for me it's like, for me this is the only horror movie I watch. So for me all this is like, oh great idea, you know what I mean?
Damn, yeah.
I bet you're jealous now that I hated horror always.
A little bit, yeah, because I kind of like horror. I don't watch a lot of horror, but I find it fun. I've kind of become a little bit.
Now imagine that this was your first horror movie. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. That'd be a good way to get into it.
Because Sam Raimi is horrific. It was like, and then the shield. Yeah, man, the shield was bloody. That was so unlike Marvel, right? And the way fucking what's his name? Like the fourth guy.
Oh my god.
Same actor. Yeah, his head exploded. Didn't that fight, by the way, really feel like Invincible? The first episode of Invincible, so much, right?
So did. Oh my god, we get
introduced to these like really powerful heroes, and then there's one character that shows up. But I feel like this was kind of better. But Invincible was also really good, obviously. But sorry, say your thing.
I need to rewatch Invincible, bro. I keep saying this, but I'll do it eventually. Yeah, because we literally just get introduced to some amazing characters. I mean, initially you've got that guy. I feel bad for not knowing what his name is, but he was in the Inhuman series that absolutely tanked because it was dog shit. And then he comes back for just this one role. His only word in the entire film is sorry. That's it. That's the only word he says.
A cool portrayal of that power, because I think that guy from the comics is kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Lumberjack? Thunderbolt? What's his name?
Was it Thunderbolt? No. Oh, I think it was.
Thunderbolt is Ross.
Oh, yeah, Jamie. True. Multiverse of Madness Inhuman. He is called... Oh, Christ. They're not going to give me an easy answer, are they? Because it's just fresh out. Black Bolt.
Black Bolt.
That is his name, Black Bolt. The thing is, I can think of some really specific scenarios where he would be able to talk for the first time in a while, and I feel like it would be really cool. Because like just that one moment where he killed Strange and he literally just whispered the word sorry, you could tell they layered over multiple takes of him just saying the word sorry to make it louder and louder. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a great way of doing
what an inconvenient power though, Jesus Christ. He can't talk ever. Or he might just destroy the world. I don't know how it works. I don't know how strong it is.
Weird. And also, but
it's crazy.
It is so crazy powerful. I'm really glad that they showed it though, because I feel like I watched part. I don't know why, but I started watching the Inhumans at some point out of boredom, and then I quickly stopped because it was so trash. But like, when I saw Black Bolt, I was kind of scared that they weren't just gonna show his power, right? Because I feel like they're always very conservative with that, right? But I'm glad they showed it like right away in the flashback. You just like, oh, okay, bye, Strange. No.
Yeah. What did you think of Strange having the Darkhold?
Oh, the third eye, dude. This was the weirdest end credit scene. You've seen them both. I
have, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
This was the weirdest end credit scene I've ever seen. Like, wait, what are you asking right now? What do you think of Strange having the?
I mean, there's more. We had like 4 different
now.
versions of Doctor Strange in this film, right?
Why do they always do that? They have this really powerful thing and then it's gone forever. Is it just too powerful now? All the things that Darkhold introduced, like this dream walking, all those spells, everything is just too powerful now.
Maybe. That'd be a good way to make it so that the film doesn't have too much of an impact on the rest of the MCU. Because all of these rules about dream walking and even the rule of just dreams being a little glimpse into another version of your life, that's very big for the MCU. I was watching a video by New Rockstars earlier today where they went into detail about this, and the guy basically said, in Avengers Infinity War, when Tony Stark says to Pepper Potts, he goes like, "Oh, I had a dream, a really vivid dream that we had a daughter,
kid. Yeah,
and it was named after your eccentric uncle." And then, of course, they went on to actually do that. What if the chances are he was just looking at an alternate version of himself where he'd already had the kid. That's it.
Yeah, and an alternate version could just be a future version maybe from the timeline. No, maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Multiverse doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's any possibility. It's wild.
And it's cool. It's cool, and it's very ballsy for them to just say that. But I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like fun. It's just fun. Like, ooh, wow.
Yeah.
And they'll probably do like a big payoff for every character that's ever had a dream, right? They'll do like a weird payoff moment in like 20 years, whatever. Like, hey, remember that we said that? I don't know, man.
We actually meant it, and it was a big deal. Yeah, that would be cool.
What does that make of Moon Knight then, right?
Oh, that's a fucking. I don't
basically,
know.
Khonshu is basically dream walking into Mark consistently, or no? I guess not. Not really.
No, I don't think. There was the one scene where they were in the the Great Pyramid of Giza, and there's that like chamber in the center of it.
And
Giza? Is it Giza?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I've always thought it was Giza.
Talking to my ass. I don't know, dude.
No, you might be right. I have no idea. Yeah. Of course, he takes over Mark's body in that scene, and you have this weird moment where Mark is sort of like screaming, but his eyes are like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I love that, by the way. That was amazing. But apart from that, I don't think Khonshu ever had any direct control over Mark. He was just sort of like encouraging him to do certain stuff. It was only in that one scene where he genuinely just had full control of his body, or even, not even just his mouth. I don't know. But yeah,
dream walking like into another parallel universe—that is a wild power, right?
I mean, Strange has done it now as well. Wanda isn't the only one to have experimented with that. It's not impossible to think that Agatha might not have also done that, because she was in possession of the Darkhold at one point, before Wanda took it from her, I guess.
Yeah, but also Agatha didn't have the power of the Scarlet Witch, right? I mean, and also probably not the power of Stephen Strange. Yeah, Agatha was probably just like a very smart and powerful because she sucked up her entire coven, right? But I don't think she was necessarily super skilled. Maybe though. I don't know, man. It's hard to skill these guys.
I don't know what the direction they're going to take with this now, because they've established that witchcraft is a real thing in the MCU, and witches are real.
And it's different from sorcery.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different thing entirely. But obviously, Wanda's backstory in the comics is that she is a mutant. You know, she's the child of Magneto in the comics, and now they're just establishing it as she was just a regular kid who got what?
She's gonna be the child of Magneto in this other universe that we just got a peek into. Do you not think that this other universe is not gonna be the universe where they're eventually gonna have an erosion with, what's it called? Like a fucking
multiversal war.
Yes, Secret
I
Wars
really
per se.
fucking hope so. That could be so cool.
Secret Wars has to have a Miles Morales, and Miles Morales will come from the Spider-Verse. I think that's more likely.
Oh, yeah, that could be
Because
really
they've
good.
shown Doctor Strange in a painted style, so Miles Morales. I'm just telling you right now. I'm just telling you. It's just like I'm just telling you. This is my MJ prediction. Miles Morales in the MCU is gonna be Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse, and you're just gonna watch the Spider-Verse movie, and he's just suddenly gonna be in the MCU. Like, I don't know how they'll do it, but they'll do it. I promise you.
Oh my god, I would love that.
They have to, man.
It would be amazing. I literally just the idea that. Oh, by the way, that scene where Strange and America were just literally crashing through realities, and they crashed through about like 20 different realities in the space of 30 seconds. I loved that visual so much. That was the most memorable part of the entire film for me. It was crazy.
It pops up every time.
It looked so good, and I want to just watch it again. They had like the fucking paint universe, you know, where everything was made of paint, and she's like, oh yeah, I got stuck there a little while once. It's hard to eat anything.
Yeah.
You know, this is just a normal thing that they have to deal with every day. And what about the fucking streetlights where red was go and green was stop?
Very clever.
It's just a fun little thing again. It's so unnecessary, but
there were so many little details. I think I watched the same New Roxas video as you did, because there's like one point on when Billy and Tommy, the kids, are sitting on a couch, and in the background on the TV there's like an old cartoon playing, but it's like a Mickey Mouse cartoon, but the character in the cartoon is not quite Mickey Mouse. It's like this alternate design sketch that didn't make the final cut, but it could have been our Mickey Mouse that we know and love now. You know what I mean? Like little
multiverse shit.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're good at that.
I love that so much. Yeah.
And they've been good at that in WandaVision, right? Like WandaVision already fucked with us for the multiverse, and then we got it. We wanted it, and then we got it.
Yeah, it's in full force now, and I think we have Loki to thank for that. Frankly, that I think I still to this day, even as much as I love Moon Knight, and you are right in saying it's probably the highest quality show so far that we've gotten, I still prefer Loki, and I think I will do for a while, just because of the implications that it has. I think it's awesome.
Will say the same thing because she thinks this fucking Tom Hiddleston guy is hot, and I hate it. Bro, she got a shirt that says Loki's girl, you know, and I told her not, you're not allowed to wear it in my place. It's rude as shit, dude. Fucking hell. No,
I will gladly get my girl one of those t-shirts. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, Skal's into getting cucked by Loki.
Hell yeah. I'll join in. Fuck it. Why not?
No, bro, I'm full on Team Moon Knight. Moon Knight, you know, fucking.
It is very good.
Steven, Mark, and Jake, they can run a train on me, hit me, you know.
On the other end of the spectrum, which do you think is the weakest Marvel TV show so far? Of the Disney Plus ones, I mean.
Well, I'll just go by most forgettable, and I gotta be honest, and you will, I mean, a lot of people agree with me, and it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Even though I love the progression, like, I'm a really big fan of the Falcon now being Captain America, but I just want to see the Falcon as Captain America, and we didn't really get to see that in, like, its own arc, you know what I mean? And that's fine, we had to get from point A to point B, and it was fine for that. I'm glad I know how it happened.
The show is...
Hawkeye was better, so...
There are some really good things in that show, and the sad thing is, it's by no means a bad show. It's competing with some crazy stuff that we've had recently. I mean, you compare Falcon and Winter Soldier to Loki. You know, Loki is just... It's wild. Obviously, WandaVision was this much longer, more like suspenseful, drawn-out thing where for the first 3 episodes you didn't even really know what was going on, and then obviously it all crashes down and you realize the true scale of things.
An experience, but once you've had the experience, I don't think you can ever get it again the way you
it doesn't
got it
have
at the
that much
beginning.
rewatchability. Yeah, it's watching it for the first time ever was way better than any rewatch.
Because you're just intrigued. You're looking literally. They kept us so much in the dark. Like, for anyone who hasn't seen WandaVision when it originally came out, or I guess if you watched it, I mean, if you've seen it, you shouldn't be here if you haven't seen it. Let's assume everyone's seen WandaVision, right? It's such a great show to go on a journey with, like to go on a journey on. I guess, how do you say that? To take on with you, as a partner, dance with WandaVision. I don't know.
I get what you mean. I described my interest in films to someone the other day as just a great liking for escapism. You know, to literally get away from your mundane or boring day-to-day life and just escape into something else entirely different. And I think that's why people like us love Marvel and Star Wars so much, because it's so like fantastic and so much more big than we are. You know what I mean? And I think WandaVision is definitely that. You feel like you can relate to her for a lot of reasons. But she's a very compelling villain, I guess.
She is.
Do you now look back on that series and think that Wanda was that a villain origin story?
Well, I feel like Wanda showed a lot of regret when she let go of the people of Westville, and I think that regret, that was such a strong scene for me when she walks down through the people of Westview, right? Everyone's looking at her and they can't attack her, right? Because obviously she's a Scarlet Witch, but everyone has felt her pain for like months, right? I don't know how long it was, but like a while, right? And like they all know it was her and she just has to walk through it. There was such a powerful scene that for her to then be like when we first saw her in like the Scarlet Witch outfit, like in the multiverse, right? Or like at least like we didn't know it was the multiverse necessarily, but she was with the Darkhold, right? And I didn't necessarily, I don't know if I would expect her to go from that to willing to kill Doctor Strange. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess the Darkhold corrupted her, but maybe we should have had a story. Maybe that shouldn't have happened off screen. Then again, Professor Hulk happened off screen, so what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, true, yeah. I don't know. I think there's some weird things about it because I fully actually agree with the complaint that it feels like Wanda going from WandaVision to Multiverse of Madness feels like a completely different character. The way that she behaves has become really odd, and it seems like she's got this massive tunnel vision for her kids. Like she she barely mentions Vision in Multiverse of Madness. You know, she barely mentions him at all.
I saw that.
And I get that she wants to get back in touch with her sons, but the way she behaves is just so odd. And do you remember the scene where Charles Xavier goes inside of her mind and he's actually talking to
that was such a cool scene, dude. And
I always love those scenes.
So uncanny, dude, because he was like, I thought it was so funny, and that was so invincible to me. Sorry to interrupt you again, I always do this, but that was so invincible, dude. When Dr. Xavier, he's just like, let me pull you out of the rubble, maybe it will break the spell, and then the way that was acted, like, no, it's not gonna break the spell, you know what I mean? Like, us watching, we know that's not gonna break the spell, right? But it was so hopeful, so like wishful thinking, and that kind of really like triggered something. Like these mighty heroes who were like, oh, we can figure this out, I'm in your mind now, I'm gonna pull you out of the rubble, that's gonna fix her evil spell, because this is a witch, but it's the Scarlet Witch, right?
And
like,
then he dies. Yeah. You know, we've watched Charles Xavier die on screen 3 times now. What the fuck? Have you seen the old Fox X-Men films? Have you seen them all?
Yeah, I've seen Logan most recently, so I can talk with you about Logan, which
Logan
I
is
fucking
a very
loved.
good film.
Yeah, Logan was awesome, but no, I wouldn't. I haven't really. No,
I'm actually a big fan of the old
but I
X-Men
don't remember
films.
them.
I think they're really good. I think they have like a really nice charm from this area where, you know, the very late 90s, early 2000s kind of style they have with the first couple films. I really like it. And the way that they played Charles Xavier going into this sort of white void in Wanda's head, that was exactly like how they would have done it in those films. Like even just the fact that he was walking. Yeah, they have multiple times. Yeah, like I literally thought to myself in that scene, I was like, he's going to be walking, isn't he? Because that's just what happens. He goes inside someone's mind and he loses the wheelchair because he's in control. That's what it represents, you know. Like he realizes that he's more powerful in this realm than he is the real world, and that's what his power basically is.
But then Wanda's even more powerful, right? That's the point.
Yeah. In that scene, I was really, really hoping that the Wanda that was under the rubble was more going to be Wanda was trapped by the Darkhold, not Wanda being trapped by other Wanda. I thought we were going to get a scene of like, oh, this shows that Wanda is actually not in control here and that she's being manipulated by the Darkhold, but that scene never came. If that scene would have come at any point in the film, I would have bought it more. I would have bought it more.
Some more corruption, maybe. In general, when me and my sister were sitting at cinema, it was 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah. Halfway
through, there was a break. I don't know if that's a common thing in the UK where we always have a break. And I don't know. I don't like it because I just sit there waiting for the movie to resume, right? Like I don't need a cigarette or whatever. Like I don't need to buy something.
We don't have breaks. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's wild. The movie just stops and then everyone knows. Oh, and then you always hear someone say, "Oh, it's a break." You know what I mean? Like someone's realized it. Like, huh? Oh, you know, you always have someone else realizing it for you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you just sit through it and you wait. But when the break happened, my sister and I instantly said to each other, because I went with my sister, right? And we said to each other, it seems so short already, right? For this to have been halfway, because it's packed, dude. It's packed.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful because it's the Multiverse of Madness. But, I mean, I don't think it would have harmed the story or even the movie experience at all if you would have dragged out some of the environments, like because there's so many environments, and they have a nice walk through the city at some point in the other multiverse, right? Like where the one where the lights are red and green, and Mordo is a Sorcerer Supreme, right? Like 816, whatever. What's the one called?
838, I think it was.
838, yeah.
Yeah.
That universe, they have a nice walk, right, where they kind of just like explore that world, I guess. But I feel like there's so much exposition and story that we could have gotten, and it wouldn't have cost more, right? Like just give. I feel like they were scared to like pack it in. I think they wanted it to be like compact, but I think it could have been more like, give me the content, like these shows are so drawn out, you know what I mean? Like Moon Knight, you could turn that into a film. It would be significant. It's better as a show, obviously, but you could kind of turn it into a film. You get what I'm trying to say? Like you could kind of take that story and just kind of pack it up into a film, for better or worse. I'm not suggesting that's Multiverse of Madness should have been the series or whatever, but I feel like it make it longer. You know what I mean? Like I'm trained well. If you tell me a movie is 3.5 hours, I'll be like, wow, that's even better than Endgame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if everyone.
You're entirely right. I am absolutely fine for the default runtime to go from 2 hours to 3 hours, because I am more than okay with that. Having seen all of the series that are on Disney Plus recently, I am now under the belief entirely that I think these comic book movies and that are so like built together, where you have to have watched other things and they all run like in the specific order that you can enjoy. I think they genuinely just work better as TV shows, and I think that it would not have harmed it at all if the entirety of the MCU might have started out as a TV show. But I say that, but DC's already tried to do that, and it was really shit. So I don't really know.
You can have the mix.
Exactly.
But then when you start like leaning into that mix territory, like we have now, I feel like longer movies, we'll watch it, right? Like these shows, it's a lot of content, or are they scared maybe because it's only an hour chunk? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know their philosophy. I mean, let them do their thing. But on the other hand, give me the content,
Yeah, I agree. I wish we would have got more scenes of them smashing through different universes. I wish, because they explored a lot in 838 with the Illuminati and everything like that. But why didn't they then go to another universe and explore that one a little bit as well? Like, it would have been cool to just have another take on things and a different set of cameos.
To not have the universe where they saw the memories of themselves, to not have that be the same. Like maybe they could have visited the planet that she was from, right? The universe she was from originally.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been really good.
Instead of having a backstory in this one place, have a different scene for it,
Yeah. Bruh, can you believe that the film is banned in Egypt purely because she has two mums?
Yeah, it's wild. And but Marvel is playing such a good job, because then they also have fucking Moon Knight running there, where they have the first Egyptian superhero, and she's from Egypt, and they speak the whole language, Arabic, you know what I mean? They're completely, and it's all the lore. They're completely now catering to all audience of the world, and also they're giving a big middle finger to like. I love it, man. Like there's so many people that bow to the shit, though, right? I mean, and Marvel has in the past before, I'm sure.
They have. Disney as a whole has as well. The biggest thing I can think of is the episode 7 poster for Star Wars, where they had John Boyega's character just shrunk down and put in the background for the release in China. And there's no need for it because of racism, basically.
Really?
That's it. Yeah. Have you not seen the comparison?
No.
You got to put it on the stream. You got to edit this shit afterwards.
Well.
Episode 7 poster China. There it is. It's disgusting. Like, the fact that they requested this change is just so dumb. Okay, I'm gonna send the image through on chat.
You like
now.
that song, by the way? Like, every time I wake up,
it's a man without love. Yeah,
man.
Great song. Love it so much. Yeah, look at that shit. Look at that shit.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
It's filthy. Like, why did they need to change that?
Well, it's a pretty cool poster, also with him smaller. He wasn't a really cool character anyways.
It still looks like a poster, but like,
it should have been that poster
why change it?
It should have been been that poster in the first place, with him being small, right? We should have never gotten
if it was, If it was, that would have been fine.
Or written
But
him
it's
better, write him better, and then have him big on a big.
I mean, I completely fucking agree. How much more interesting would it have been if the main character of the new trilogy was a turned stormtrooper, and not just some random person from a planet who turned out to be relevant later on, but had no idea. You know,
Man.
I don't get it. Poe showed signs of being Force sensitive in Episode 9. They should have done something with it. They never did. They likely never will. It sucks.
Yeah, they will, because they've. Star Wars is a weird one, right? Because Star Wars is like an IP that Disney holds, but doesn't really ever knew what to do with. I feel like, for some reason, the first 3 movies came out, became legendary Star Wars, right? Like, it was probably even the first movie on that level of filmmaking, right? It was like, at that point, in that point in time, it was probably worldwide news. Like, wait, they can do that now? They can create a world in space? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, I wasn't there, but that's what it sounds like, right? When people talk about Star Wars. And then the internet came, and everyone talked about Star Wars always, right? And then it just kept rolling, and then fucking they made some prequels, right? And then that was really weird, but also then memes became a thing, right? So they were able to, like, it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling, and then Disney owns it now, and they're like, Jesus, like, whatever we do makes so much money, we gotta make a movie, but I don't really know what the fuck to do, so we'll just kind of like try our hardest, but then we'll try too hard, you know what I mean? And then it feels unauthentic. Sorry, I'm not even a Star Wars person, but
that is actually really accurate. Yeah, I used to be a Star Wars person, and my love of the show and the genre in general just keeps getting like toyed with. I feel like I'll watch some of the movies and I have this great nostalgia for the prequel trilogy because I watched them as a kid. I really like the original films because they're just really good films, especially Episode 5. And then I'll watch the shows like The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett, and I'm so fucking excited for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Even if it's a complete disappointment, I don't care. I'll watch it. It's more Star Wars, but I don't know, because Star Wars used to be #1 for me, but Marvel has just blown it out of the water. Honestly, it's blown it away completely.
Marvel has blown everything out of the water, dude. Like, if you consider the last time there was a big cinematic universe like this, I mean, for my circle of influence at least, it was Harry Potter. That was kind of the only thing, right? What else was there?
Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. I mean, I can't think of anything in particular that would expand.
Something as comprehensive and, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, maybe that's the formula. Harry Potter's a book. Harry Potter was adapted from a book series, and Marvel's being adapted from comic book series. You know, I think it's a massive shame that.
I guess.
Yeah, true. But Lord of the Rings are still only 3 films per trilogy. You know, it's nothing as long-standing as Harry Potter or.
What's the one called? The other one, the Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. Have you watched Game of Thrones?
No, I'm just naming shit to sound smart or like to get. I just want to get to like.
Watch Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is so underwhelming. You get teased with this incredible finale for 7 seasons, and then it's just completely shit. And the final episode of Game of
Sorry.
So many different things. So many different. Like, the fans had so many theories of what might happen based on what was teased to happen. And then in the final episode, they had like so much potential, and they had so many of these interesting and fleshed out concepts that they could have gone with, and they just did nothing. They just basically did the most simple thing you could possibly come up with, and didn't even do it well. And it was just really disappointing. I think the reviews for the final episode of Game of Thrones, oh god, I've seen a chart of it recently. Game of Thrones had like mid-80s to high 90s for every single episode for 4 seasons straight. And then they
never watched it, but you always heard everyone, like online and in real life. So when you know, like,
it was the shit. Yeah,
it was wild.
And then season 6 and 7 come along, and they're starting to get a little bit more like not as good, a little bit more shit.
Is that when they ran out of books?
Yes, that is entirely it.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, I know. You realize the guy who wrote the books intentionally stopped writing the books so that they would fuck up the show, so that people would then buy his books after the show had finished, hoping for a better version of the story.
That's what a cunt, dude.
What a cunt. Yeah, I completely agree.
He doesn't give a fuck, dude. Like, a show is better than a book, you asshole. Just because you can't handle the visuals of a TV, because I'm an old man with old eyes. But shows are great, you dickwad. Don't force people to read a book.
There's a really good
shit.
visualization there, you can see that's kind of like a trend of the episode's reviews up until a certain point.
You were such a
And
good
then when it
co-host.
gets to...
I'm sorry I got so mad at you. You were such a good co-host.
It's fine, don't worry.
I didn't actually...
I'm just busy, I'm sorry.
No, it is cool. I didn't actually get mad at you. I just like felt it inside me, and then I, called you, and then let it go.
I get you. It's all good. We all get these feelings.
Iron Throne is the last episode, so
Yes.
All right.
I think the reviews there are about 13%. Given that the show had a long-standing, just high 80s, high 90s, it's just like, how the fuck did that happen? If you want to find out for yourself, watch it, but you're inviting disappointment. That's all I will argue. The show is still pretty good, and I will definitely rewatch it at some point in my life. But I'll just stop at the end of season 6 because it's not worth going any further. Because I just know that anything I see on there is going to just be disappointing.
What about Daredevil without any spoilers?
Daredevil is amazing through and through.
Does it ever include the other characters, or do they only come together?
Yeah.
In Defenders?
Do you know the order in which to watch them? By the way.
No.
Do
I have to watch the other shows, dude?
No, you don't. Don't worry. Basically, do you know what the Defenders
Maybe I want
is?
to. It depends. Yeah, I don't know, but I've seen like the promo. Like I know it's.
Yeah. Jessica Jones is good. Luke Cage is still good, not as good as the other two. General consensus again, but basically, Defenders is the B-Tech Avengers, and you have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist come together as a little group of 4 people to defend New York from some ninjas. Basically, it's very strange and convoluted, but in reality, in my eyes, it's another season of Daredevil because the story is very centered around Daredevil, and the only person who gets affected long term from the series is Daredevil. If you start watching season 3 and you haven't seen Defenders, it won't make any sense. That's just how it is.
So I watched season 1 to Defenders season 3.
Yes, you don't have to have watched any of the other ones. Honestly, you don't have to.
I feel like Daredevil already kind of skips along sometimes. Sometimes there's like guys in an alley, and I'm like, how did I even get here? Like, why are they? You know what I mean? I'm so not used to it because I'm so used to like being spoon-fed the information, and this is like a true. Like just how like Breaking Bad will do that, right? Like kind of like
it's more gritty. Yeah, I think it's a lot. It's a different vibe, and I really enjoy it. And I'm so glad that Daredevil is in the MCU now. You know that, but I really hope they do him right because I've already been spoiled by the Netflix TV show, and I really hope they don't fuck it up.
He'll be the same. Marvel has heard what people said about the shows, and Marvel also doesn't want to waste these. People have, they recognize this is art made by a human who tried to do his best, and people have recognized this is great, and it's already kind of works in your canon. Why not just making canon, right?
Yeah, I get you. Oh God, I'm so excited for more of that. I really am. But yeah, no, honestly,
really exciting idea for you, right?
Oh yeah, go on.
So Daredevil, I'm finding out now, is really, it really shines a light on. I mean, I barely watch anything, so maybe there's so many shows that also do this. Like there's probably like CSI Miami where they really go into the underworld of the fucking. I don't know. I've heard of these shows, but I've heard of this genre, but I've never watched it. Right. So for me, Daredevil is just like, oh wow, they're really exploring the streets of New York. And to me, as a fucking humble, fucking ignorant viewer, I love the way they do it. Like it feels so like, oh my god, there's like this whole thick layer of tar like that's dragging the city down, right? And that's all these fucking wild dudes with this crazy money, and they have this wild empire, and you can they really like to really take the time to really explore that is really interesting, especially in the MCU. Kingpin is great. Obviously, Kingpin in Hawkeye, big things happened, and he's definitely gonna team up with like a superpowered being at some point. So now you have Kingpin super extremely normal. I won't say supernatural, but that sounds high tech. You know what I mean? I meant just like super, I guess natural, right? You have his arc in Daredevil where he's just like a human, right? It's just like whatever, humans versus humans, no alien tech, whatever. It's just, I don't know, whatever. But it's just humans versus humans, and then he meets an Avenger in Hawkeye, right? So he already has had this wild arc, and then he meets an Avenger in Hawkeye, and then he gets pissed off, and then he goes to like now he goes into Spider-Man into Spider-Verse territory where he's teaming up with all these high-tech, like wild-ass fucking guys, right? And he's just like this fucking crazy maniac. Anyways, what I'm really excited about, dude, we saw Khonshu in a suit. So Khonshu is gonna take part in that New York underground fucking scene, don't you think? Like he's like there will be new mob bosses set up, right? Because Kingpin, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just watching Daredevil right now, and I'm assuming that there's gonna be a lot of changing of like the guard and all this. The Russians are in there now, and the Chinese and the Japanese. Whatever. Yeah, they're probably gonna switch it up. I don't fucking know, whatever. But imagine if they now add like. Kingpin is on one end of the table, right? And then there's fucking Khonshu on the other end of the table, right? And there's like this intricate, you know, and then there's Daredevil and friends, you know, Spider-Man maybe. You know what I mean?
Street level New York, yeah, for sure. Like, that would be such a good way to go with it all now, honestly, because obviously Spider-Man's identity is now hidden again, which
it's so funny, Marvel, how they do it.
I know, yeah, they fucking found a way. Would you believe it? Jesus Christ. But yeah, I would love that now, honestly. I mean, because Moon Knight is a street level hero in reality. He fights bad guys in alleyways, and that's just how he is. He also occasionally.
I swear, this is what they're setting up. I swear to God, this might be the next phase or the phase after that. But they're doing this. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe it'd be a bit like a genuine Defenders arc, you know, where we have like actual like street level heroes coming together as a little group within New York.
There would be vampires, right? One clan of vampires, maybe.
Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. I mean, there's so many things I could go with now. I was very underwhelmed by Kingpin's representation in Hawkeye because I think that the way that they did him in that show was a little bit shit. He kind of like stumbles on screen and he's this like. I don't even know how to describe it. He's very kind of goofy. He's got his white and red suit, which looks kind of cute compared to his usual menacing all white or all black in Daredevil. And then he just doesn't really do much. He tries to beat someone up, fails, gets shot in the face, and that's how we're left. And you compare that to how much of a intimidating and overwhelming presence he is in all of the Daredevil series. It's nothing compared to that. One thing you will agree with me on, hopefully, by the time you finish watching all 3 seasons, because Kingpin is in all 3 seasons, is regardless of whether he is alive or exposed to the public or in the shadows or in prison, he still has almost complete control over all of the crime in that city, and it's ridiculous how he does it, and it's impressive to watch it. Frankly, it's really good. Season 3 especially, there's basically this one guy who's an FBI agent who everyone loves at this point.
Myself for me.
Sorry, I'm not going to spoil anything too much, but there's basically you get to the point where there's this one FBI agent. Yeah, and he is like, he's doing what he thinks to be the right thing of trying to actually, like, you know, fix the problem and defeat the big bad guy. And yet every single person around him, like, it seems like every single person he knows is just paid off, and they're working for Kingpin now. And the fact that you just get this terrifying idea of, like, there is nothing that he or anyone could do to fix this problem. It's overwhelming and it's terrifying. And then in Kingpin, he's just like, oh yeah, he just kind of like tried to beat someone up. Didn't even do that good of a job. Yeah, Hawkeye. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Being a powerful.
He deserves his own show, all right.
Well, he fought against fucking Hawkeye, right? He shouldn't have his own show. He's an antagonist. He fought against the Avenger, didn't he? Or did he just fight the girl?
He fought Echo. Yeah, I think he fought Kate Bishop at one point as well.
Oh, he didn't fight Hawkeye himself?
I don't think so, if I'm remembering right. Although Hawkeye is the only one of all those shows that I've only watched once, so I'm not sure. It might be time for a rewatch for that one, actually.
I thought it was excellent. Yeah. Better than
it's still a good show.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to rank them all now, honestly, Loki and Moon Knight would be at the top for me, and Hawkeye and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier would be at the bottom. Not because they're bad shows by any means, but just because the quality that we've had with all of these shows on Disney Plus so far is just incredible. They're all so good. And
I don't know if I agree with you on that.
Go on. Which one stand out to you?
Well, I wouldn't say 1 and 2. I would just say like Loki and Moon Knight are at the top. WandaVision and Hawkeye, I would say that they're on the same level, because WandaVision is great, but like, you know what I mean. WandaVision is great, but it's we know too much, you know. We have to treat it the way we know it, right? And the way we know it's an experience, right? And we've had the experience. It's like losing your virginity. WandaVision is like losing your virginity, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, just pulled that one out of my ass.
How high are you on a scale of 0 to high?
not high enough, my man.
There it is. Very nice. Very nice.
I'm gonna get you loaded, dude, when you're over here.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, hell yeah. I can definitely
We'll do
go
a
for
podcast.
some
I'll get
definitely
you to freak
legal
out.
weed. Yes, hell yeah.
You know I don't get legal weed even.
You do for the sake
Oh,
of video
yeah.
recordings, right? Yeah.
I do. Wink.
I also get legal weed in the country that I live, which is Canada/California.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one you like. Yeah.
Dude, Earth is going to shit, right?
Bruh. Don't even get me started on that shit.
We'll talk about Ukraine. Oh, by the way,
Oh.
nothing happened today, right? May 9th? Or has there something happened? Has something happened, actually? Because today is May 9th, right?
What do you mean? As in, like, in terms of the Ukraine
No,
war?
I thought it was Victory Day for Russia today.
Really?
Well, that's what they were...
Oh, shit. Russia, Ukraine. It does kind of weird me out a bit how it'll be all over the news for like 3 days, and then, you know, as soon as it's no longer that big of a deal, it will just all go away.
No, I'm following it big, dude. Like I've trained my Reddit algorithm to kind of... I don't know, man. I don't know why. I'm just turning into like this weird guy who's really into the war.
Yeah. Ukraine invasion. I mean, yeah, I've seen things here about how their anti-war slogans appear on Russian TV before Victory Day parade, and that was 7 hours ago. So, Jesus, it happened. It started on the 24th of February?
Yeah, they've been at it for months.
What? I thought that was like 3 weeks ago.
The start of the invasion?
Yeah.
Well, it was like recently. It was like I think they're on day 80 right now, right? No,
I did not know that. Jesus.
they've been at it for a while. But I
Yeah.
don't know. Do you have any takes? Clearly
I
not.
mean, honestly, I'm glad that Ukraine put up a damn good fight. Seems like they did a really good job of keeping them at bay for as long as they did.
I don't know, man, and I don't want to say it out loud in case he's listening. But I feel like isn't contributing weapons, giving weapons to Ukraine, kind of participating in the war? You know what I mean? Isn't that kind of fueling the fire? I don't want to say it because we're the good guys. I believe that we're the good guys. So we should definitely do this because we got to protect our democracy because Putin is insane, dude.
How long can someone like that exist on this globe? Because what happens after Ukraine?
Too long. What happens
Yeah.
after Ukraine? A bit of brooding, and then more planning, and even more brutal army setup. Because now he knows, oh, I need to be significantly stronger. Like, and next time I pull this shit, it might be, you know, this is my last chance. Fine, he's gonna prepare for a full-on like world domination invasion, maybe.
I think World War III's already started, and we're literally witnessing it right now. I think this.
Please.
I think this Russia-Ukraine thing is like the start of something massive, and it's gonna.
Don't say it. Don't manifest it. Not on my show.
Yeah, I know. I'm really worried about it because
Me too,
honestly,
dude.
I hope it stops here. I hope it stops here, and I hope that's just the end of it. But what's to stop him from doing more?
Dude, do you want to keep going? I'll get a beer.
No.
Okay.
Change of topic. End the show on a good point.
Oh, yeah, but no, I agree, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking,
It's terrifying, but frankly, the world we live in right now, I feel like everything is out of our control, and there's nothing we can do about it. Whether it applies to politics, you know, the political landscape in general, global warming, out of our control again. The job market, the housing market, out of our control. I feel like we're the generation of just watching our lives explode in front of us. Yeah, really.
But wasn't it the same in the 80s though? Like, did people have HIV, and then there were the gays that suddenly had to, you know, had to accept them, and that suddenly you couldn't hit women anymore? Like, that's pretty life-changing too, right? For them, maybe.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, because I think to ourselves right now, like, think to myself right now, how amazing it is that we live in this time where, like, we are so acceptant of so many things, and the world has changed so much. But, like, by the time that we're 40 and we have our own kids, maybe, what is it going to be that our kids will resent us for? The same way that we resent our older generations for something that they believe.
What do you resent your older generation? I guess racism is like a big one for older
Yeah.
generations.
Racism, homophobia, transphobia, all the phobias, basically.
Yeah. I have arachnophobia. I'm sorry, guys.
That one's fine. You're allowed that one. That one's fine. Yeah, I don't know, because I always think like, what is, because I think we've reached this point now where in terms of social politics we should have everything covered, but what is it going to be that triggers the next generation into disliking us, you know?
The fact that we had such an obsession with not facing our fears that we completely got lost in our phones. So now we've created all this technology around phones. And like, what if we find out in like 10 years, like, oh my God, dopamine and levels and like the way we're treating our dopamine levels, and we're rewiring our brains with all these apps and these notifications and these bleep bloops and this whole interface and all this shebang. This is actually killing our species. Like, what if we at some point get AI and the AI straight up tells us, oh no, sorry guys, I mean you can argue about this like left versus right, but this is just straight up the objective truth, and you can trust me because I'm the singularity god AI, right?
Yeah.
And then that tells us like, phones are bad, and then they'll fucking like, they'll be like, why did you create this entire life around phones, man? Like, these things are so, there's charge ports everywhere.
Yeah. Basically, fuck Steve Jobs. That's my takeaway from that.
Yeah. Dude, are all phones made in China by kids? I'm just asking the hard questions right now. They are.
I think so. Yeah.
So we are the rich people, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so poor. Like, you know.
This is we live in a society moment right now. That's literally what you're saying. We live in a fucking society. We're here thinking like, oh, I'm broke, I can't pay my rent, I can't buy a beer, my life sucks so much, and yeah, I've got like a £800 phone literally right next to me.
2020, kiss your hands, dude.
Oh shit, is that a thing? Kiss your hands?
Just do it.
I'll accept it. All
right.
Bro, you got to teach me about any like weird things that you do in the Netherlands that I can just like bring home. You know, when you take a drink, like when you have a shot with friends,
Proost.
do you do cheers?
No,
and then hit the table. Post, yeah.
No.
Do you not hit the table?
No, we don't hit the table.
No. Okay.
It's like really awkward. It's like really awkward. We say, hey, proost, en dan, hey, wel aankijken, anders heb je 7 jaar slechte seks. Dan kling kling. Clink, 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 clink.
I heard sex and I'm interested. That's all I heard there.
Like, you have to look someone in the eyes when you like cheers them, or else it's 7 years of bad sex ahead of you.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. I know that one actually.
How is
similar culture.
Yeah, it's transcultural. That's wild.
Yeah, it wasn't so much a thing that you would say or actually do though. It's just like if you cheersed someone and didn't look them in the face, they'd be like, "That's rude. Look me in the eyes. Do it again." You know, like that's kind of how I've experienced that. Yeah, no. Here in the UK, I don't know if it's even just a UK thing or just like a me thing. I've known a lot of people who do it. Is where you'll take a glass, cheers someone, and then you'll hit the glass on the table as if you were just like cheersing the table, and then drink. And that's just a thing that you do. And like everyone around you will just sort of pick up on it and start doing it as well. And it becomes like
okay, well,
yeah.
I want to do it. Okay, I want to do it.
Yeah, here we go.
Cheers.
Clink. And then smash, yeah.
I don't know what's wrong. No, we don't do that. We can do that though. It's gonna be wild, dude, when you come over. It might be a bit later in the year. That's because then we can do like a full week. I can ask if I can have a week off.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, honestly, whatever works for you, I will go along with it because I'm staying at your place. You're going to be showing me around. I am your bitch for that week, so don't worry. Yeah, nice. As long as we know both, obviously, far enough in advance, I'll make sure I'm free.
Maybe we can do truffles because I won't.
Truffles?
Have you done truffles?
No, never.
Oh, I've done them recently.
Really?
Yep.
What was it like?
It's awesome, but I took a. The recommended dose for somebody who isn't experienced with truffles is like 0.7 grams or whatever. Hey, 7? It's like 7 grams, I guess. I don't really know. The number is 7.
Yeah.
It's like 7 grams. And because they're pretty big, right, I guess. And I just took... that's reasonable, right? 10 grams? That's not that much, right? Physical mushroom weight.
Yeah.
That's
a tiny bit more.
Right? I think I took like 11 grams, and the recommended dose for somebody who's never done it was 7 grams. But because I smoke so much weed, and weed teaches you so many lessons about managing your anxiety, you know what I mean? And like, because you get paranoid and you talk yourself back into like, you know what I mean? You can kind of just overcome the fear, and you learn kind of these lessons. And I had a lot of faith in myself that I was going to be able to apply my weed lessons to the mushroom trip. So I wanted to take more. And it was great. It was awesome. I just slowly kicked in. Suddenly I saw my ceiling tiles. I have like these wooden planks on my my school house
Mm-hmm.
ceiling, right? And they suddenly started like waving, like kind of like the waves of the ocean, right? Like it became like this whole dynamic scene, and like my painting started to bleed, and like kind of just. But I was really comfortable. It was really nice. I was really
That
scared.
is so cool.
Yeah, but I was really scared when it was kicking in, because they say the hardest part is ingesting the substance, chewing on it, obviously, and you kind of I mixed it with chocolate because it's kind of gross. But I thought you could eat it with a big meal, because I know when you drink alcohol, you kind of want to have a big meal in your mouth, right?
Yeah.
But I heard that you shouldn't necessarily do that. That's not like a good idea. You just kind of want an empty stomach, or not like completely empty, but just like, you know, you don't want to like eat it with a meal, right? That's what I thought you should do. Anyways, I ate it with chocolate. Just like ate some chocolate with hazelnuts in it, so that it had chunks, and then mixed in the mushroom. You know, it just kind of tasted fine. It was fine, completely fine. And they say that and it was true. The hardest part is honestly keeping it in after that. The first 45 minutes when you're just sitting there like, is my body gonna accept it? Because you've never had it. Your body might think, what the fuck is this? Get it out of here, get it out of here. I mean, you can still hold it down at that point, but it'll become a whole battle, right? So you're just kind of ready, you know, you're kind of anxious, you're kind of like scared. I was with my girlfriend, so I was able to express it. But once it really started kicking in, I was like shuffling cards, and they started to kind of like fade into each other, and it kind of felt like
so cool.
And I felt like I was high, like the same feeling when you're high. But when you realize you're high, you kind of start doing your thing, and it never really stays on that like peak moment. But this was like, it was going crazier, like with the visual in the background now, right? At some point, and I don't know, I felt like I had to overcome that fear of like, I'm gonna step into it and let go, you know what I mean? Kind of just like accept this is happening. I communicated it to my girlfriend. I accepted it. I accepted that I was scared. I just kind of gently, I feel like I was ready for it, right? I'd never done them in my life. I'm 24 at the time. I was ready to do mushrooms, right? To try it. And I just had a great time. Just kind of could do whatever. I smoked a cigarette at one point, and like the light of the cigarette in the dark was the most beautiful shade of like orange pink. Like, you know, it really satisfied my palette picking when I'm making research back. You know what I mean? It was perfect shade.
Yeah.
And then it was like in the dark, right? It's like super aesthetic. I don't know, dude. It was awesome. I was just happy. Felt very confident. I was just dancing. We just talked. It was also for me, and this kind of like open, or like, you know, kind of like talk about my relationship, I guess. But it was really like a bonding experience for us, because I have a lot of anxiety about like I have abandonment issues and like attachment issues at the same time, you know what I mean? So it's like this whole like, for me, it took such a long time of like keeping like at a distance, you know what I mean? That whole shebang. Yeah. And then the mushrooms really, the trip was definitely about us together, like me kind of just like, okay, I'm going through this crazy thing, but you're there, and I trust that you are. And she was also scared. She was like, oh, what am I gonna do? But I was like, no, you can't be like that. You gotta be like cool right now, right? Because I'm gonna go kind of like in a thing right now, and I need to be able to trust you, kind of thing. I don't know. It's just like it became a really spiritual experience between us. And at some point, when you close your eyes, it's just, you know how there's visuals that people will draw, like people will go on acid and then they make paint drawings, and it's all like checkerboard patterns, like vivid colors and like whatever. You kind of get it when you close your eyes. You kind of get this flickering of like this vivid world that happens. Yeah, at some point I felt the entire universe at once. That was definitely the height of my trip. I really felt a vivid distinction between mind, or like soul and body. Like, yes, I'm Mickey, this is my soul, but also this is my meat vessel, right? And I'm really in love with my girlfriend Frey, and that's her soul, and that's her meat vessel. Man, I got into weird territory, but it's you've never done it? Yeah, we should do it.
It's one of the only things that I've not tried really, and I'm excited to try it. I know I will at some point, but yeah, I'll do it with you gladly when I come around. Yeah,
they're illegal here. Truffles are not mushrooms. Truffles don't really make you hallucinate. Truffles just kind of distort reality. Mushrooms will have you straight up have you trip, and that's why they're illegal. But truffles are legal. You can just buy them. I mean, you should be cautious with them, but yeah, they are.
Fair enough. Well, that makes it even more enticing then.
Bro, they come with this inscriptions. There's like you get this card. It tells you what to do and how to handle everything, right? And there's like a phone number you can call. And
That's good. Well, yeah, for sure, I'd be down for that. Yeah. Yeah, I've always thought that obviously hallucinogenics I find really interesting. The idea that you could literally experience something, a feeling or a sight or sound that you could not describe to another person. That idea of discovering something new that you cannot document is really intriguing to me. Can you imagine a color that doesn't exist? Like
No,
a color that doesn't already. You can't, can you?
I think I'm literally incapable of doing it.
We are literally incapable of doing it. That's what we're limited to. And you can't imagine like a sound that doesn't already exist. You know?
It's interesting. We always credit human like creativity, but honestly, we can't imagine shit.
No.
You know what I mean? Like our creativity is just like a side product of like, I don't know, us trying shit and being like, oh, I did this. Like we have just too big of an ego. Like we hit a thing. It's like, oh, I made sound. No, that's just action reaction. You're attributing value to it, man. We're so dumb.
Yeah, we really are. We really are, bro. But no, I do find the whole process of like trying out these things really interesting, and that sounds really good. I should look forward to that.
Okay, what do you think?
Yes.
What do you think of the notion that I was talking with my girlfriend about this, and she said that she straight up she thinks mushrooms is not her thing, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever, it's cool. I mean, obviously she shouldn't try it now, right? I mean, I'm a bit older, obviously, but what do you think of the like? If it's such a vivid experience, which I can guarantee you that it is, wouldn't you like just by ingesting a plant and sitting down for a night with like a close one, or like you should probably have a trip sitter, right? Just that's like doing it safely, but like just for the experience, like wouldn't you? Don't you think that? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you want to not miss that? You know what I'm trying to say? Like there's a lot of people who never have that experience, right? Straight up people like boomers, they're never gonna do mushrooms, dude.
I kind of do and don't understand why, though. It's a weird one to me. Like, I feel like people are brought up and they sort of get given this innate fear of certain stuff. Just think, like, you know, this is not a good thing. Anyone who does it is not a good person, and it's that simple. Like, you don't need to think any more about it. And I think a lot of people get brought up with that mentality, and therefore that limits them in what they might want to do. But to me, like you say, it's always that idea of, like, what if I can do something which could be interesting or unique, then why would I like limit myself from doing that based off of this fear? Like I've come back from worse, you know, like I've struggled through.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
You know, we've all struggled through years of like bad mental health shit. Like I was a husk of a human being for my entirety of my high school experience. I came back from that. You know, I have lost so many friends and experiences and relationships, and I've always come back from it. So I'm like, why would you be so terrified of something that can be equated to a hangover? You know, that's the thing that I find intriguing about it, right? Because that alcohol's equivalent of the reason why.
Maybe that's it though. Maybe that's, you know, maybe you need to have gone through a certain level of trauma to even desire that, you know. Maybe you kind of, you know what I mean? Do you relate to that? I don't know if you relate to being traumatized. I definitely do. I don't want to take on that.
Nah.
I don't want to take it on, but I will acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't sound edgy at all. We can talk therapy shit. I have been seeing a counselor now recently, and I admitted to them that I had a history of, you know, anywhere from like alcohol abuse to simply just drug usage, and they were just like, yeah, I can see why. That's fair. Like they just thought to themselves like, this checks out. You know, it's what I would expect for someone in your position. So fair enough. And
kind of deal. You're not an anomaly. Circumstances. All right.
They weren't judgmental about it. They didn't even warn me not to. They were just like, just be careful, you know, just like make sure you know what you're doing with everything you do, and you'll be fine. Maybe that's all it takes. Maybe it takes for us to have gained some balls to try fun shit. Do you get what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean, but I don't want to dismiss my girlfriend saying I don't think that's my thing. You know what I mean? That's why it's like,
yeah, you can envy someone in her position, right? Because it might mean that she simply
doesn't need it.
Right? I don't know.
It could also be maybe, but it's a good theory. It could also just be a curiosity thing, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Would you consider yourself curious about these kind of experiences?
Oh, that's hardcore my thing. I mean, I have a few hard lines that are just like, I won't even debate you on it, right? There's certain like meth and even coke. I know a lot of people do coke and they say they're functioning, but I don't really would just even like the way nicotine like hooked me. I don't need to fucking get coke out of here. I mean, you say you're a high functioning coke addict, whatever. I don't really buy that shit, dude. Whatever.
Yeah. I get you.
I mean, crack is obviously the same as coke.
Yes. I think for me, I agree with you. The hard line there would be at something like meth or heroin, where it's just
heroin,
like, I don't know why anyone would do
Fentanyl
heroin.
is like a big one now, right?
Fentanyl. Yeah, I've heard of that as well recently. Do you know what lean is, by the way?
Yeah, I met a guy once at the bus stop, and he offered
Yeah.
me a hit from his blunt, and he was drinking blue shit in like a Sprite bottle, like a
Yeah.
bottle that it was like a Sprite, so it was supposed to be clear, and it was blue. And I was like, "Hey man, what is that?" And he was like, "It was lean. Do you want a sip?" And then I said, "Yeah, I kind of do want a sip. I don't." And I kind of figured, if he's drinking it like that, it's probably you probably need to drink a lot of it. So I just kind of took a sip to just get the tastes. So yeah, I'm familiar with lean, man. I've had some lean ones from a stranger.
I haven't.
That guy could have given me
actually tried
COVID.
it.
That was during COVID. I'm a wild guy.
That was
dude.
true. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck, dude. This guy,
Right,
dude,
clearly
yeah.
not. Jesus. I mean, yeah, fair. Now, honestly, like I have, I've seen about this recently because it's become very popular, obviously in America as well. It's basically all it really is, frankly, is the process of just getting high on a little bit too much painkiller. That's it. That's actually all it is. Like if you mix lean as it should be, yeah, things like codeine, morphine. There's a number of other ones which would actually generate the hallucinogenic effects. But you could literally just take too much painkillers and you'll get there. Like it's the same thing. There's just
You
this thin
hallucinate,
line.
though, on lean. Like, did that guy? How do you think that guy experienced giving me a hit from his?
No, it's like it's not hallucinogenics. It's more of like a euphoria state, kind of similar to
Morphine.
yeah.
Never
Well, yeah,
had it.
exactly.
I've described
Exactly.
It, yeah.
I've never had it either. I've known people who've had, operations in
It's
America
supposed to
or
be like
something like
ultimate
that.
contentment. You're just like, I'm fine forever.
Exactly. That's like it's the drug of being content.
Can't you just do that though? Forever? Like a little bit of, what if you just did that?
Well,
A little bit of-
because it won't work forever.
Oh yeah, okay.
Your body becomes accustomed to anything. So that's why you got to be careful, I guess.
Parties are rigged, dude. We gotta hack
Yeah.
the Tony Stark suit.
Right? It's fucking stupid, isn't it? Why can't we just like hack our bodies to just like feel good all the time? Like,
Well, we need attachments because our bodies are basically a perfect organism that can sustain itself, and all it needs is input, and then it needs to shit and piss out, and then sometimes it needs to come. Like I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's pretty. I don't know if you want to dial it up. I feel like maybe you could just increase the intake, or like power give us a special. I was thinking about this the other day. If they're gonna make, sorry to keep this going on.
Don't worry.
I was thinking about this the other day. If they're the next level of supercomputers, right? Like they're talking about quantum computers, whatever. I mean, I don't even understand it, but let's say that happens at some point. You'll still need a processor. I don't know if is quantum computer, is that a processor? I don't really know. Anyways, maybe that's not my point then. My point is then, like when you think about advanced computers being our brains, right? Like because our brains are already kind of advanced computers, right? So if you imagine if we at some point create like the max advanced computer system we can, why wouldn't it just be like this flashy, gooey mess, right? Because that's, I mean, clearly it works, right? Our flashy, because it's like the most powerful processor we know. Like we're talking about quantum computers and whatever, and maybe they exist. I don't really know, but like our brain they're pretty fucking powerful, right? So what if an ultimate computer of the future would just be like this wild flesh thing, right? That you kind of just have to pour calories into it, right? Or kind of just like protein to like process shit. Like computers right now, they don't need fuel. Maybe we need to start looking at advanced computing as like requiring fuel, How are we going to sustain that even?
Yeah. I don't know. I find it's a good example of convergent evolution when you look at the fact that human brains are basically just a really highly functioning computer processor, like you say.
They truly are.
I think all it is really is it's just an example of machinery mimicking nature. Like, I think computers are just a different way of doing how the brain functions. Honestly, that's how I view it.
Because it's all we know, maybe? It's just how
Yeah.
we think. It's just what all our literature about ourselves, everything, all our fucking self-absorbed, everything. It's just all been about us, so it's all we know.
Maybe we're just trying to create something which is ourselves but better. And
I feel like we'll get there though. Like
we will, yeah. That's the point.
Get
Nothing
a million
slows
monkeys
down.
mashing buttons, right? That's kind of it's kind of literally what
Maybe
we're
that's
doing.
what it really is. Yeah. I mean, literally, a piece in a computer, like a what are they called? A single component that just transfers electricity, stores electricity, can be equated to a neuron in the brain firing. They essentially perform the same task, just in a different configuration.
But that's the thing about the brain. The brain is, let's say that, okay, so let's accept the notion that the brain is a supercomputer, right? So let's accept the notion that theoretically, computers in the future, like the ultimate computers that we're looking to make to run AI shit or whatever, they would have to kind of resemble a human brain. Let's just accept that notion. But a human brain doesn't function without a stomach. You know, it doesn't function without the blood flow and without it's a living thing. So like then you get into this really weird territory. Like, are we already the most advanced thing we can make? You know, are we at that point just creating humans? And what are we creating it from? Matter from humans? You know what I mean? Like, what are we actually doing? Like, what can we even make anything more advanced than a human is? I guess what I'm saying. Because then we'll have an AI who will learn, look around, we're all super scared about AI, right? But it's gonna reach into the internet. It's gonna find a bunch of dick pics, you know, and two idiots talking about Moon Knight. No, we only talk about that shit for like 20 minutes. The rest has been fucking wild shit. And that's what it's gonna find. But then it's still just confined to humans, and then we'll just have created a human and we'll treat it really weird. Like, oh, it needs rights now, you know? Like, we've created this. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna... I don't know, man. If AI... I don't know, man.
I kind of see what you mean. It might just be that we end up getting to a point where the thing we've created is essentially just a human. Like you say. Like, there would be...
Because you can't just have a brain and have it be a computer. Just hook a screen to it, right? You need it to... Do you think so? Because a brain only functions when it's a... You know, you can only cut off so many limbs before the brain stops working, when someone straight up dies, you know what I mean? Like, you can't infinitely cauterize a human. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's hard to say, because I guess right now that's what we know. That's the limitation that we're familiar with. But, like, does that limitation apply to technology? It's difficult to say, because we don't know yet.
Why wouldn't it? Why?
Because my computer
what's gonna inspire Skal? What's gonna inspire us to think out of what we know? We just established that we only know what we know because we're humans, Skal.
I forgot. We're basic bitches. I forgot.
We talked about this though, right? Remember when we?
No, you're right. Yeah,
like, we only know what we know. Jesus.
Man, are you high? Are you high yet?
Yeah, I'm high yet.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Oh, really?
You want to keep going? I want to keep going. That's why I said I want to get a beer, because I love it. But I don't know. I don't want to take too much of your time, man.
No, it's fine. Nah, I'll get going and do something else now. I've got some other things to be getting on with.
It's a great podcast. I don't know if you're... It's a whale of a podcast. I don't know if you're keeping track. It's
1 hour 40 right now. Is that right? About that? Yeah. I just... 8 o'clock we started, didn't we? So no, not 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
7 o'clock? 7, yeah, I'm high. Jesus Christ.
No, 7 o'clock.
No, but what do you think, though, given that I've acquired the goods, the next time we do a podcast, we could both be high? What do you think?
Yeah.
Would you enjoy that?
I mean, unless you're not going to show up because you got too high.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try and tone it down a little bit more. Fucking hell. I'm figuring out the sweet spot right now, you know? I'm still figuring it out. Yeah.
Theoretically?
I can't roll. I can't roll for shit, man. That's all I'll say. So
what did you do? Did you mix it with nicotine?
Well, no, I just rolled it, but it was just really shit.
Was it pure?
Yeah, I didn't have anything to mix it with. Yeah.
We never smoked pure in the EU. Everyone were made. I guess everyone in Netherlands just has a nicotine addiction, I guess. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I'm trying to think what best way to do it, but now I'm just thinking less in general, just less, and experiment with that. But a friend the other day told me literally grind it up, put it in chocolate milk, and I was like,
no,
okay, no, I didn't think that would work either, honestly. That seems way too easy. But I'm going to experiment with a bunch of different things.
Hot chocolate, basically, learn it from the guy who's made bong water pancakes recently. I made a very controversial video where I made bong water pancakes. This black stuff, that's my bong water, right? And I put it into batter. Yeah, but this gets me high, and people were saying, like, that's not true, and then they have all these scientific explanations, but I'm here like, okay, so did I just get placebo high? Like, I don't think so. Sorry, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get. Anyway. So you got high from pancakes?
Yeah, you should watch the video, dude. You're a fan.
I've seen the thumbnail. I've seen the thumbnail, bro.
It's a great thumbnail, too.
Yeah, I will give that a watch. That sounds very interesting.
The point is, the particles you need to somehow they need to attach, I guess, to fatty things, grease, fat. I don't really know how to use that word right now in English.
Yeah.
They need, but in pancake batter there's oil, right? So like because you put it in the pan, hot butter, and you put it in the batter, right? In the thingies, right? That's what MJ does. Watch the video, you'll know. Or true MJ fans watching this will know. And then the eggs also have fat, grease, fat. Can I just say that? Fat? Does that work?
Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it just? Do you mean like carbohydrates? What do you mean? You don't know, do you?
No, wait. In listen, in Dutch, fat and grease, there's no differentiation between the word. So like, if there's grease on my hand, I'll just say, oh, there's fat on my hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We have a slight different. I mean, grease is kind of more like the oily, and then fat is like the more when it's like actually a physical like blob, like a more of a physical solid than a liquid, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know which one. I don't know which one it needs though, because like butter is like butter goes from a fat to a grease. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah. I get what you mean. It makes sense that they'd be connected. They are just connected. Fucking hell. Anyways, right. Well, I will watch your video, and I may even try it if I get myself.
It's gross, and you might die. People told me I will die if I keep doing this.
That does sound grim, honestly. That does sound pretty bad, but c'est la vie, right? Seems appropriate right now.
Yeah. 2022 bitches. All right. No, I'll thank you for recording with me. It's always a pleasure.
Of course.
It's I was happy to come over. We'll do a podcast in real life. We'll do so many podcasts though, right? We'll do like man, that's gonna be a wild one. That's gonna be like it's gonna be the summer of Skal. How is your channel? Give me a little update on your channel before I end it.
Slow as always, but given that I've got a little bit less work to be getting on with now, I am hoping to get back on it with some more videos soon. I've got so much stuff planned, but just the time. It's time constraints always.
What can the viewers of Skaliber Minecraft expect?
Well,
MJ Trips?
I have a new data pack project, which is in development right now, which is based around the concept of Valheim. I'm really hyped for it. It uses custom world gen, custom structures, custom biomes. I've been working on it a little bit here and there, but it's complicated as fuck. And it is hard to get right. And of course, just more Celeste. So, I'm
looking forward to that Celeste content, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's been a while though. Come on. I told you. Did you see my campaign that I had in your Discord server? The land of egg or whatever.
The land of gingers, as you gave it.
Oh, you've renamed it. Oh, nice.
Yeah. I wasn't kidding.
People will get that in about 2 weeks. They'll be like, hey. Remember that?
No. The last update video that I released for Celeste was update version 022. Which was
really love letter of a comment, right?
Yeah, you did, and then that was 5 months ago. Would you believe it?
Okay, so I kind of rallied up in your server, and I don't know if you saw my tags, but I told you to do 10-minute videos. Did you ever get around to respond to it? Because I definitely forgot to check.
No, I did see it, but I never got around to responding to it. Like little update videos each week, right? It's not a bad idea, honestly.
I'm just saying consistency is key, right? And your channel is just like waiting there. Your viewers are waiting there. Like you listen. Honestly, I'm telling you as a friend, you being on MJ Trips only helps my channel. You know what I mean? And it does. And honestly, it could even hurt your channel because people could be like, you know what? Fuck this guy. He's not even uploading. I'll make Mickey Joe my favorite upload. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, we can both share that spot. But I'm just saying, consistency. You just gotta kind of, people want to know about you, right? I mean, people always talk about you and talk to you and stuff. They kind of just want to hear from Skal. You know, it's not just Celeste. It's also. It's Skaliber Minecraft. It's like the whole meme. It's like the whole iceberg image that you showed of like lore I didn't even get, and I'm still waiting for that video, Skaliber Minecraft video, right? See, that is
another one that's in the works. Yeah.
You're lovable, man. All you gotta do update, and even if it's a depressing update video, listen. 1 week you'll do every Saturday. It's 10 minutes. You just sit down. Hey guys, what's up? I'm just gonna start doing this, and then the first update video is only about that you're now doing update videos, and it's like 10 minutes already passed. Okay, well, bye guys. Mickey told me to do this, and I'll try it out. And you upload it. Bam. And that's it. And then and then you don't do it, and then you respond to comments in between. You just do your thing, whatever the fuck. And then the next week you just do the same thing, and then you just keep doing that until you get ready to do your next big update video. And the 10-minute videos, they're not gonna get in the way. Don't even bother writing a description. Just like don't even. You don't need to put much else energy into it. It's just like a way of giving your subscriber what they want. That's Skaliber Minecraft, man. The meme, the guy.
Yeah. Do you know what? No. Okay, right here, right now, I'm going to take you up on that. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to set a day.
For you guys, Land of Ginger. You won't know.
Thank you. Land of Gingers will know. They will know. They will know.
I mean, 1 minute 50 into MJ Trips. I don't know. We'll try it. I'd appreciate it if we tried it. We'll try it. If you're watching this, shout out to you.
Yeah, I don't know when, but I'll dedicate a day and I'll try and be consistent about it because I know that it will get me working on other stuff more, and it will just be nice to do, like you say, just to keep things consistent, keep things rolling. So I will definitely do that. What do you think I should call it though?
Post-nut clarity, right?
Oh shit, yeah.
Bro, I got the mind, dude. I smoke weed, but I got the mind. No,
I forgot I was gonna do that. Damn, that was an idea that was in the works a long time ago.
Yeah, don't be committed to something that you just thought of once. You know, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Honestly, I might keep it less like that and just do something like Skaliber updates. Not that boring, but something along those lines.
You know what you should do? You shouldn't commit to anything right now. You've just committed to this right now. It's been a big thing. And next time you're just gonna sit down. Okay, this is it. I'm gonna do it. You don't have a name. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna turn the camera on, and then you're talking to yourself or you're doing your thing, like I've done many times before on my channel. So also check out my channel if you're watching this. Obviously you are, but also subscribe and stuff. So you're just sitting there, you're saying your thing, and then you're gonna be like, what the fuck, man? I don't even know what to call this. We'll call this blah blah blah, and then you keep going until you crack yourself up and you go, okay, well that's it. That's what we're calling it. And then you call the video that, and you're done.
Okay, done. You've given me an idea right there. Yeah, a star is literally. You're gonna be kicking yourself if this like blows the fuck up now, and it was your idea all along.
Right, bro. I've recently had a really good idea. There's a subreddit. We can keep going. Jesus, dude, what the fuck, dude?
Go on.
I'd love to show you this, dude. I was kind of naughty, but since this is so late into the podcast, I can kind of show off some naughty shit.
Go for it.
I was in the KKK, my famous Discord server, right? And people were having like a very feisty conversation. I have to scroll past.
Yeah.
Hold up, wait a second. Yeah, okay. My buddy Hybrid, I've last week I did a podcast with him actually. There's a subreddit where you can just kind of, this is it. It's called RSS Deep into YouTube, where you can just kind of promote unknown YouTube channels.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you cannot self-promote, right? So you just kind of have to show. You just kind of have to like share links of like videos you find, like old videos that are like older than 1 year, whatever, you know, like old videos that slip past the algorithm that are worth watching. You know what I mean? That sort of shit.
Yeah.
Low view videos. And I have one video, it's called The Hidden Advantages of a Nicotine Addiction. And that I think is very good. It's very well edited in my opinion. It's a great video altogether. And I thought it would be worth a shot to just try to get this on the subreddit. Obviously I couldn't do it because that's against the subreddit rules, right? But I got my buddy Hybrid to help me out with that. He just like tried it.
Yeah.
And then completely natural, the people just liked it that much. I mean, I gave it my free daily Reddit reward, right? Because it's and I upvoted it obviously, but like what else can I do? I mean, I shared it, but like what else can I do, right? What else can you do? You just kind of have to hope for the best. And it got a shit, I mean, you saw it, just 430 whatever upvotes, and it increased the views in that video by like I want like 1,200, I think, more. Like
really?
Yeah, like crazy, like crazy views that were direct, and like a lot of view hours as well, like that sort of shit. So
yeah,
just creating my own luck.
But the thing that I find amazing is I've just gone on the link that you sent there for the Reddit post, and the amount of people in the comments that are arguing about whether or not it's satire.
Yeah, that's
and I'm like,
wild. Yeah.
How fucking stupid are people?
But it's fine. I don't know. But I guess I see that as my satire not being good enough. Like, should I have been
no,
obvious?
Arguably,
I see that. It was so obvious, though, right? Have you seen it? You've seen it, right?
No. Arguably, I see that as your satire being perfect because you've literally you've sparked more conversation between people. You've sparked more activity because it's that close that people actually want to have a discussion about it. It's not just obviously like you watch 30 seconds of it and you realize, oh, okay, this is a joke, I'm leaving. And people actually want to watch it and think like, is he being serious right now? And they're having a discussion about it. You know?
Yeah, that's cool.
I think.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, thinks you hit the nail on the head by doing that. You know, that's how I see it anyway, at least. But yeah.
Hey, listen. I just want to show some gratitude then in this moment, right here and there in time, in space, and show some gratitude to the stars to have aligned for me to have come up with this idea, right? Because humans don't have creativity, so maybe this idea must have come from some celestial being, right? To do this, or I mean, I guess I pulled it together from variables I knew. It's just the calculation I made. But anyways. Thanks God for that idea. It's a cool idea. Thanks, man.
It is a pretty cool idea. And you're giving me a cool idea today. So. What's
your idea? Oh, the videos? You're gonna do them? Yeah, nice.
I'm really excited. The weekly videos. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that.
I'm really rooting for you, man. You know that,
Thank you. I always want to put more into YouTube. I always do, but I never get around to it. Like,
but it's so important. It's like, right? It could be your ticket out of it.
Yeah, I know, and I think about that a lot.
It's self-love almost, right?
It really is. Like the way I described it in a video I made recently that you commented on, with a lot of love. So thank you for that. It's the way I look at it right now is I see it as like a hobby that I really enjoy doing, which I just don't have like time for right now. Do you know what I mean? Like I wish I could do this like in the same way that someone would wish they could go on, you know, they want to go play football with their friends, or they want to go walk their dog and sightsee, or they want to go on holiday and have a relax. Like this is something that I want to do and I feel is really good for me, and I so naturally do YouTube. I feel now like it's not difficult. I kind of realize sometimes I like look at the thing I've done, the video I've just created, and I'm like, shit, that's actually pretty good. And I did that with like virtually no effort, you know, like I've been doing it for so long that it feels so natural to me now. But I think one of the main things that's dragged me down in the past is when you get too caught up in competitors and how judgmental people can be. There was a guy in the... I won't say any names because I'd feel bad. Because at the end of the day, they were, I think they were like 14. So I'd kind of feel bad talking shit about someone who, in my opinion, is not finished getting together what kind of person they want to be. But someone in the Pack Creators Onion used to be very, very critical of my resource pack. And I think there was almost an element of jealousy that they genuinely thought they were a better pixel artist than me, which they were, to be fair, because I do not pride myself on my pixel art skills. The thing that I am good at is different entirely. But I think they were jealous that my pack was bigger than theirs and my YouTube channel had more subscribers than theirs. So they would sort of like shit on my content quite a lot. And I always knew why. But for some reason, I let it get to me and I let it manipulate the fact that I was now going to try and be more perfect and try and put more energy into it and try and put myself to a higher standard. But as a result of doing that, it made me slow down because now I was sort of going against myself, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're comparing yourself to this weird standard, maybe, or...
Yeah, I'm comparing myself to the standard that someone else has set for me. And I shouldn't value that opinion, but I did. Yeah, and I'm trying to come down from that.
But it's a tough line to draw, though, because when are you doing that, and when are you just, you know, because it can also be super valuable to have someone show you what can be done in life, you know, like, oh, wow, that's possible, we can just do that, humans, we can just figure that out and just dedicate ourselves to that, you know what I mean?
For sure.
It can also be like a really inspiring thing.
Yeah. Like you said, it's about drawing the line, right? About drawing the line in the perfect place of like, you need to have constructive feedback and criticism, and it's so easy to get something which is just a little bit too much and therefore not constructive at all and not good feedback. And I feel that really slows me down, you know, and I want to try and get past that.
Also maybe it's up to you to not let it slow you down, you know, maybe that's your comp.
Oh shit, my clothes had fallen off my chair and
I just
reversed into them.
Oh shit, that's the worst.
I have returned.
Now the worst is your cable.
That's fine. Yeah, bro. I have my Oculus on my floor right now. You know, the VR headset. And I accidentally just stepped on the cable the other day, and I was like, please don't break.
Yeah.
You're too expensive to break randomly. But yeah. Trying to get that out the first time in a while. You talked earlier today about relationships, you know, about your girlfriend and stuff like that. And a couple of weeks ago, my girlfriend tried out VR for the first time in front of me. And you know, she thought it was cool as fuck. Everyone usually does. It's like a cool little experience to show someone. And I kind of get what you mean when you're talking about the experience building thing with the truffles, right? Is that when you try these things out, when you do something out of the ordinary and you do it with someone else, and it just kind of feels more like a bonding experience than just you doing something. Right. I kind of get what you mean about that. It's good.
Well, that's in general when you do something with people. I mean, if it's a person like a partner, I found the same with family. Like any time you spend with them is like time well spent, right? It doesn't matter. Like if I spend time with my mom, I go to dinner with my mom. I'll never like think to myself like, God damn it, I could be getting high right now, or I could be making a video right now, or I could be with friends right now, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just there. I'm content.
Exactly.
It's just time well spent, right? Because you're building at least on that relationship, which is supposedly forever with your parents. I mean, sorry, that's offensive for you. Not for you.
I know,
for me, at
it's
least.
fine.
Or let's say girlfriend then, right? Like I mean, any time you spend with them, that's good quality time. It's just building that relationship, right? So that's you know. And then you add in the cool experience like VR, and I've never done VR.
It's cool.
Yeah, I bet it is.
But it is, in my opinion, it is currently an expensive gimmick. So don't commit unless you really want it, because it is. I barely use mine. I've owned it for 3 years, and I haven't got my money's worth yet. basically. So
no, I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
It seems like a gimmick.
don't. But pick one up in a few years when they're cheap as fuck. So that's my advice, honestly. So
I want to.
Yeah.
I have an investment planned for some better microphones and maybe a mixing board, because apparently you can't just have 2 microphones. Apparently you can't just do that. Apparently it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, especially with computers. Like if you want to record audio from 2 different devices, you have to do stuff to get it to work properly. I'm sure you could do it with software, honestly, but I'm not sure how you'd go about doing that. This microphone that I'm using right now goes into my computer in a USB port, not a microphone port. So to me, that says that you'd be able to have 2 inputs, right?
Yeah, but maybe like the PC can't handle recording on both. I don't really know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's like, it's something I have to look into at least, because your microphone sounds really nice, and I know mine sounds so trash, but it's the only one I have. Mine sounds trash, right? Like, just be honest. It's pretty
Not
bad.
that bad. It's the main thing I pick up with yours right now though is that there's a constant background hum.
I know,
yeah.
but like, there's no amount of
Yeah.
like sensitivity setting I can change. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like it might be, you know what I think it is? I think it's just a wire that is just like eternally, just the way it's literally transmitting sound in a way, right? It's just transmitting information in a way, right? That's the whole point, I think. And yeah, I think somewhere in there, just like something fucks up, but I don't know, man. I mean, I could buy a new cable.
If you're willing to invest, my microphone setup that I have right now is not that expensive. I looked into a bunch of solutions when I was doing the same thing myself a couple of years ago, because I had I was working full time, not paying too much rent to my parents when I was living with them, and I had a lot of money spare a lot of the time. So I thought, like, I'm going to get myself a real mic upgrade. I don't know if you've ever seen, but a long fucking time ago, my mic setup was an old headset looped around my neck with the microphone up near my mouth like that. That was my setup for years.
Yeah.
You probably have. It's in a bunch of old videos. But I saw that recently and I was like, what was I doing?
Dude,
Jesus Christ. Yeah. This is the shit though. Like the amount of compliments I get about this stuff. I'm really proud of it.
And why do you have the ball on top of it?
I mean, you can hear it without if you want. Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah.
It's not that much different, if I'm completely honest.
But isn't it for wind? I thought it was for wind, and maybe also if you blow on it.
It's a pop filter. It just filters out specific sounds. Like, you know when you're talking and there's sort of sounds that come out of your mouth that are like very clicky, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know how to describe it, but I think that's what it's for.
Take it off,
but it sounds better. Yeah. Okay, it might sound a bit horrific for a second.
You can say the Skaliber enter your girlfriend. Take it off, take it off.
Take it off.
That sounded fine.
Hello there. This is now a microphone without head. What do you think?
Speak a little bit more. It's definitely louder, but I don't like the louder part necessarily. Speak a little bit further.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, to be fair, you probably hear me from further away now that it's like this, right? Does that work?
No, but that's not the ideal way to do it. You definitely have to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, usually when I've got this thing on the top, I usually am quite close to the microphone, and then I'll usually just talk more quietly to adjust to that, because it's very sensitive. But if I get somewhere like back here, for example, right now, how quiet am I, would you say, like, percentage-wise?
It's not that bad. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've had very mixed results with this microphone.
My videos are edited worse, Skal, like.
Okay, true. But yeah, this is a
I feel
Honor.
like it does hit the yeah, please tell me after what I'm about to say. But I feel like it does hit the max amount of sound that my headphone is willing to transmit.
You think so?
More? Well, I'm just trying to, when I visualize it, it just peaks more. It just has higher peaks. Without it, just straight up has way higher peaks, which just makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, because it's obviously going to dampen the sound, generally speaking.
Yeah, so it does its job.
Yeah.
So
it does its job. Yeah, I'll put it back on now.
Put it back on.
I'm so sorry. Everything's back on now. How do you feel? How does it sound actually?
Yeah, it sounds better. It sounds more intimate. It sounds better. But my mic is shit.
It sounds better, doesn't it?
Man, how am I?
It's all right. Well, you get an upgrade.
Tell me what's yours. Tell me what's yours. Yeah, tell me yours. What's yours?
So mine is a Honor CM001B, which is basically just a studio microphone. The set that I bought it in comes with this lovely mic arm, which is basically clamped to a desk behind me right now, which is very convenient. But then when I bought it, I realized that there were a bunch of different things that I didn't know about proper audio design when it came to like hardware. So I had to buy a power supply and a conversion cable, and then a completely different type of conversion cable because I had no idea what I was doing. But now, after a bunch of different attempts to do different things, I still remember to this day the day where I got the new cable, plugged it in correctly, tried it out, and I thought to myself, oh my god, that is amazing. Like I'm going to struggle to get better than this. It's unnecessary to get better than this. And all in all, I only cost me about 65 to 80 quid, I think it was.
Really, mate?
Yeah.
Where did you buy it? Where did you buy the microphone? Did you order it?
All online. Yeah, literally all online. I think absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Because I was on the quest to get a microphone, and I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just get what Joe Rogan gets. So this is like a $500 microphone. Okay, I guess I'll just
no. Completely unnecessary. You really don't need to pay as much as they do. Like, no doubt that the kind of stuff they're using is really fucking good. But at the same time,
they're good.
Yeah, but you don't need it though, especially for what we're doing right now.
Yours
like,
sounds perfect for me. Like, I never have an issue.
Yeah.
Well, with my own videos, I always turn down my, obviously, like, I filter the noise, but then I also, because then it kind of distorts. I can't do it too much because then it kind of distorts my own voice, right? So
yeah.
I always add in music in the fucking in the background, so it kind of like you don't focus on it. And also music, it's MD Trips, it's music. It's like a nice vibe, you know. You just kind of watch out for copyright and stuff. This theme for the podcast, I'm suggesting, could be kind of like whatever that style is for Frank Sinatra.
Lonely is the man without love.
Yeah. Little guitars. You like little guitars?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That would be very cool.
Yeah,
do it.
I'll do it.
Well, I've sent you the links to that stuff in Discord anyway. You will need a little bit more than that depending on your setup, but that's basically most of what my setup is right now. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But basically, the takeaway I took from that is that you don't need to pay for. You know, you can save. You can just kind of DIY it, and then you can do something pretty cool with a little bit of extra time and energy.
And this is all I need, or do I also need another cable that you talked about?
You will need other cables as well. It depends whatever you need to input it into your computer. I don't know if you want to go same as me, like you know, a USB.
This is British. I cannot even buy this.
Yeah, you'll have to search it on your own website.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
But yeah. Hopefully you could get something cheaper than you'd expect. I mean, you know, compare it yourself. Find something that you would have been happy buying, which is just already set up,
it's so
working
hard
perfectly
it's
from
so
day
hard
one.
to know, because how do you like go online and buy a microphone? Right? Like, I was thinking I'll go into the shop, but I feel I hate going into the shop for that sort of stuff because I'm too gullible, man. Like, if a human tells me something, I'm just like, okay, you must be telling the truth. You know, why would another human lie to me? You know? This
is the best one you can buy. I'm definitely not being paid by the hour, you know, so buy this one. Yeah, I get what you mean. The way I discovered this was the same way that you're discovering it right now. I heard it from someone else and asked them, and that was it. Like, they just gave me the simple starting point of what the microphone is, and I found the package and did the setup and all that stuff. So,
beautiful example of word to mouth and the way that magic works, right? And that's how
precisely.
I want to manifest now. Let's end the podcast. It's been a blast. It's been a while. It's been a rant. It's been a ramble.
It's been really good.
I want to bless us and the entire show and the entire everyone. We're all the same. We're all connected. I want to bless everyone with the growth, healing. Thank you for watching.
Are you praying?
Can I pray? Is that offensive?
Yeah, go for it. I'll listen.
Oh, okay. I'll pray. I mean, I've never...
Is it weird if I listen to you praying? That's what I'm worried about.
No.
Like, is that like a...
No, but you have to close your eyes and go like this.
Okay.
And no thinking.
Hang on. Can I like do it here? Because the mic's in the way.
That's okay.
Okay.
Dear Lord Jesus and Thor in heaven, please bless me and Skaliber and the listeners of MJ Trips and all of our families and all of their families. You know what the point is of praying? You know what I'm saying? Jesus, God, and Thor in heaven.
Hell yeah.
When you pray, listen to it. Thanks for contributing. I'm sure God really appreciated that. Like, hell yeah. Listen, I just
kind of ironic. Yeah.
Bless everything on earth. Bless everything, you know? And you know what the thing is? The Bible can't be real. I'm sorry to say, but if it's real, well, listen to this. End the podcast. Nobody's listening. Listen to this though, right? Like, how can Putin and all this shit happen? Like, unless you say that that's literally Satan, how is that allowed to happen? You know, all the shit. You know what I'm saying?
MJ Trips with Skaliber 9 religion rant. Let's go.
No, we can't call it that. Religion rant. All right.
No, it's gonna get terrible reception. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. We'll figure it out. Oh, Moon Knight. It's the Moon Knight episode.
This is the Moon Knight one. Moon Knight, Multiverse of Madness, philosophy, fucking God knows what else. Yeah, I'm sure you can find it in there. Good fun though. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Have you ever thought about? I mean, it's Rule 34 to be honest, but Ahmed's crocodile vagina.
No. What the fuck? Is that how you ended the show? That's a great way to end the show.
Thanks,
honestly.
guys.
I'm okay with that.
I'll end it with you. You got to plug some stuff, right? That's what professional YouTubers do. They always let their friends.
Yeah.
Where do people find you? YouTube?
Oh yeah, you can find me at youtube.com/channel/UCZQCL6. And I'm just kidding, but you know I don't have a real URL, so
You
yeah.
don't have Twitter that you use. You're not even on Twitter.
No, do you know what? You give me many takeaways, right? And I always ignore them because I'm terrible. But I'm gonna make a video once a week, and I'm gonna start using Twitter because you're right, bro.
I've done it.
You're right,
dude,
bro.
I've done it. I'm getting so like a chance next present for this. Right.
Dude, you help me out with this shit, so I will listen to you, and it will all go well, I'm sure.
Thanks, man.
I'll post this one on my Twitter when you've got it up and going, and I know obviously you post yours there, right, already, but
I will.
Maybe a little bit extra. So yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you, man. All right.
That's good.
Peace. I will ceremoniously end the call at the end of the episode. Just imagine the music to be playing now. Yeah.
Every day I wake up, lonely as a man without Mickey Joe Trips. Do you like what? It's good stuff. Yeah, right. Cheers.
Bye.
See you around.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Thanks again.
Bye-bye.